Site?
Oh, on the Discord.
Yeah.
Do not do it again.
I want Stu's gonna give me access to the channel, and then I can send all the evidence that I have.
You will be permanent.
Can you list your warrants, your witnesses and that too? Actually, no, never mind, that's not necessary for the jury.
Oh, like that guy doing.
Just to be clear, just because it's in a channel doesn't mean, you know, like you still have to, say each evidence as you go.
Thank you, Mr. Obvious. You're already starting to piss me off, and we haven't even started the fucking
User
court
joined
case.
your channel.
You're welcome, Sergeant.
I'm helping you.
I don't need help. This ain't my first rodeo.
Second. You got access.
It will be your last though.
It'll be my last. Is that a threat?
I didn't say that.
User
I've
joined
already
your
let
channel.
Mr. Kennedy.
Videos.
You will not be
Do I
getting
need
it back.
access to that as well?
I hope you understand. Alright, you are now free to enter.
I've got bad gas.
Better take some Pepto-Bismol.
We smell worse.
It's gonna be a while.
I'm saving it for if I go to jail.
Yes, sir.
I'll keep everybody away from me.
Free to enter.
If.
Does Wood have a lawyer?
If.
Is that Mr. Mason?
I don't have a
User
lawyer. I don't
joined
need
your
one.
channel.
Fucking cops, man.
Okay. Before you enter, you do as well.
Courts obviously couldn't.
Yes.
LSPD couldn't afford to have a paid attorney.
Thank you.
You can get one pro boner.
What?
Pro boner?
Did someone just say pro boner?
He's got a
I
boner.
did. Yes.
He must be pro boners.
Pro boner.
Exactly.
Where's Bubba?
Right here. Oh. I see you.
Your Honor,
I couldn't hear, so I moved up. Yes.
can I get access to the
You have a
It's a
suitcase.
big bag you
where
got there, sir.
all the
Yeah,
information
that's where I
is?
keep my stuff.
Wait, everyone can see it. You don't need to talk in it
And
though.
the snacks.
No, I just want. I don't know where it is.
Wait, everyone can see it? Oh.
You should be able to see it.
Where is it?
It's on the top. It's right below FAG and rules and files.
What?
Got it.
FAQ. FAQ.
That's not what he said.
Correction.
I thought he said
FAQ.
fat.
I thought he said
I thought he said
fag.
something completely different that I won't be saying.
Alright,
Disgusting behavior.
Dom
you
just
can
disappeared.
stand
That's the
where
man trying
Frank
to bring you
is.
down.
Over there.
Dom disappeared. And he left where left a.
Don't say anything unless I ask you
He's trying to
to.
bring me down.
Got it.
I'm still here.
I don't see you. Does anybody
Well,
see Dom
muscle
next to
guy
me?
flex to get up middle finger
Mr.
up.
Wood, I wrote for you.
Anybody see the guy next to me?
Mr.
Right?
DA, can I talk to you for like 2 seconds?
On the right? No, I don't.
Outside.
We can go. Well, we have your chambers.
Yeah, but everyone can hear
Muscle kind
us.
of flex to sit
Well,
down.
then change
and
the-
Oh my
struggling
God,
with
it's
my ass.
Randy.
Doesn't work.
Dom, you're like
Easy chair.
you keep disappearing, dude.
Randy, you still got that weed in
I
your
see you
house?
barely.
Do we not have
Like
an
it's like
attendant
off
over
and
there?
on.
Yeah, it's Mr.
Am I good
Kennedy's
here?
old guy while he's
You're a
pulling out
ghost.
an AR.
Oh, okay.
You might want to go to sleep real quick. Oh, there you go. There you go. You're
I'm
back.
fucked.
Randy, your neighbors
I
are
see a
Kennedy's
shadow.
out here right now.
I see a shadow.
This is a swayed jury already. I'm dead.
I don't have any neighbors.
No, you're gonna make it, sir.
wrong.
Oh,
Tyrone and
well.
I are your neighbors now.
Oh, wow.
Not
you
anymore,
guys-
bitch.
Am I good right here?
told you. No,
Fuck
I
off.
stand right in front of you.
Don't bend over in the
Guys, I
shower.
see you now.
Move.
Alright.
I see a shadow.
What do you think?
not allowed weapons out here. I'm guessing, yeah.
Brayden,
Yeah.
Brayden. You smell like aloe vera.
Where'd you move?
I can't enter the
Where you living now, Randy?
It's him again.
All
Punch
good,
that
all
snitch.
good.
No balls.
Everyone talks too goddamn much.
Might be for your.
All right, Mr. Clean. Sorry, we're not doing false arrests like you.
Your mum talks too much.
Got him.
Or you can just stand at the back. Up to you.
So it's that bald guy that's after you then.
Yeah.
What's his deal? Looks like he's got a broom up his ass.
He does.
Case.
This is a very high priority case.
Randy, where you living, man?
Can I go get
What?
some
He's supposed to
supplies
sit
over
there.
with medical supplies?
Yeah, that's
I don't-
correct. Yes, sir. We need you to sit down.
I think somebody
Should've
needs to
dick.
help that guy in the black.
Can you please just sit down, sir?
I'm sitting down.
No, we can't. You know,
All right, so
it's been-
everybody,
it's
I'm
been
gonna just
said,
lay
you
some
know,
ground
people
rules.
funded.
If you guys fuck off during any of this, or start doing some jank shit, making jank noises, it's not gonna end well for you. Just take that as a fair warning. Everybody needs to be sitting down. No one needs to be making any immature
It's the
noises,
fact that you
anything like
approach the
that, or you
property
will be
was
taken out of this courtroom. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's-
This is all being recorded, so we can use
I'm
this
not
for
gonna
something
lie, this is
good.
a 50 caliber
So,
pistol, it was illegal.
Be decent, have fun.
Can't have fun. You're telling us not to have fun.
Shut up.
Oh, Mr. Rogers, I'm sorry. Your TV shows are relevant now.
To make sure no one
Dickhead.
does anything stupid.
Yeah, I'll remember that. Wait, who's the other guy standing with Mr. Clean?
Well, unfortunately,
That's
we
the
can't have
assistant
that, okay? It's
district attorney.
everyone, not just you.
They have an assistant district attorney, and I don't have a lawyer.
Oh, you have
That's your own damn fault there, boy.
So it's not just you.
Yes, sir, I am.
You guys, put your hands down if you can, sir, in the back of the bag. Just put your hands down, and then redo your emote, and then you won't have your hands up.
I know,
It's emote sit chair,
I know, but it's...
or whatever these guys did.
Yeah, you're correct, sir.
You're free to go in.
Go on.
He's taking care of it. Give him
Whoever is with us in the front seat with the blue
Um,
shirt on, could you
I
not
would
sit like
probably-
you're
if this is
about to
a
pee your
high
pants?
priority,
No, I like it. It's funny.
You can't tell him not to sit.
sort of weapons,
Yeah, you telling him he can't cross his legs?
Blasphemy.
Yeah,
He
stop
looks like
laughing
he's
at
about
that,
to
man.
piss
That's not
himself.
good.
We don't need weapons, we don't need armed
So would we-
security.
But wait,
Just
is this
wait.
everybody that's in favor
Make
of me
sure
over
nobody
here?
gets past
No.
somebody
Yes.
running
Yeah,
out.
I want you to go down.
Plain and simple.
You're fucked.
well, okay, but
Do you-
I'm just saying, if it's that high,
The map is
Well,
on our
Mr. Woody,
side.
why didn't you get yourself a lawyer? You could have
Because
just
Los
hired
Santos
one.
can't afford. Why are you just throwing your boxes on the
Get
floor?
little Kim to represent you.
If somebody tries
I don't
one
know.
Chinese
Why
lawyer.
am I?
It doesn't matter what we do.
oh, it's it's gonna be.
You could have gotten anyone to represent you.
Yeah, it would be...
Chinese
You
plot.
got
Straight to the
you
side.
got a spider on your foot.
Okay.
What?
What muscle do I flex to sit down? Because
Emote
my ass
sit
is
chair.
kind of hurting at the moment.
So,
T.
It's like
Emote sit chair.
Mr. Woods' eye.
I think it was.
Oh, oh, sorry.
Slash E. It's slash E. Did he just go through the world? Oh. Did E.
Look, there's that dickhead.
We're gonna search you. Got anything on you?
Where does he think he's going? I'd take the Chinese lawyer all day.
Take him. He'll do it for you.
Oh, he's clean. Water, hamburger, and phone. You can
He
go.
got his hands up for. Feel like praising Allah or something.
User joined your
No
channel.
one's got their hands up, sir.
You do on my eyes.
You do.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
So Patillo is his district
Can we turn the
attorney,
lights down?
okay?
It's fucking bouncing off his head.
Yeah, this is gonna be funny.
And the judge.
Okay.
What are we waiting
Where's
for?
the actual district? Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. You gotta look for the ginger.
Who's the guy in the black bounty hunter shirt in the
User
second
joined
row?
your channel.
He's training for ADA. Hey, you can go stand near Frank.
Can't sit down.
That's gonna be
Bailiff,
crazy.
bailiff.
Thank you.
EMS.
Hey, come in here real quick.
Alright.
Who's the judge?
What do we
So
have in
before
all
we
these
start,
secret
you're gonna
conversations that
address
I'm
the
not
people, you're
privy
gonna go over
to?
the rules, you know, no talking.
No one likes
I feel
it.
like this is illegal.
Well, I've been doing.
Where's my bailiff?
And then also, and then afterwards,
That's
you're
the
going
name.
to swear in all.
Blowing off the
spider on your foot.
Obviously, like,
Oh shit, there's some controversy going on in there.
He's
Okay.
talking about violating
Alright,
your
that's all I
amendment
need to
back
say.
there.
Then you're
But
like, you're not
when
gonna
when
win.
we start, when we
If you listen
start,
carefully,
the
they're gonna
first
fuck
thing
you
I do
over.
is addressing the people, saying all the rules, and then
Basically be quiet in the courtroom, and when that makes like a burst out
User
or
joined your
whatever,
channel.
gets held in contempt.
Mr. Luke
120
Kim, why
months
don't you
in prison.
represent him?
Yep.
He needs a
User
lawyer.
left your channel.
Shut the fuck up.
And then be respectful.
oh, also
Who's
you have to
actually asking for
specify
you?
Hey,
no
find your
posting
contact
on Twitter about the trial.
Yeah,
No,
for some reason it flew all the way
User
over
joined
there.
your channel.
threatening
He's
to
sick.
witnesses,
He's
stuff
gonna
like that.
fucking.
Oh.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm gonna
catch
sit in
something
here and you
if
have to
this
say
stuff's
all
too close
rise
to
for
him.
Judge Chong.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you
Herpes.
can say that.
I've always wanted that.
Rabies.
Let's go.
Judge Sean?
Yep, off you go.
Judge Chung. Honorable
Honorable
Judge Chung. Yes.
Oh god, I don't
Mr.
I
Wood
don't remember
plays
that.
Also, guys, disclaimer: you
diseases
can't hear
like,
anything that is
Pokemon.
said in
If you don't
the
remember
in
anything,
the
just remember to all rise.
the judge quarters. You can't hear anything. Just be aware.
All right, we got it, Ginger.
Maybe if they whispered
They,
instead of
it
yell.
doesn't work.
Come on, Ginge.
It doesn't change anything.
So,
Sir, you can't be sitting on the floor.
I do solemnly and sincerely and truly declare and
I don't
affirm
think
that
he
the
knows how to
evidence
sit
I
in a
give
bench.
should- that is for witnesses.
So every
Okay.
witness that gets called up to a
Why is
stand-
there Sir, a you're bunch of disgracing fucking this court.
FBI agents over here?
Okay.
Quick.
Alright,
And then
alright.
the second one, do you and each of you understand
We're
that's
not
for the
FBI.
jurors? You can do that all at once.
Not you.
Thank you,
Oh,
officer.
shit.
Say yes.
Okay. Alright.
What the
All
hell?
right. Any other questions?
So all
Honorable.
eyes are
Oh
on
my.
the judge.
The very
Yeah,
fundamentals
we
of this
breaking
country
laws.
were based upon this
Yes.
All right.
Look like a Bravo
Court.
343 over there looking like a.
Oh dear.
Why has she got a suitcase?
Therefore, y'all need to
There best
respect
not be no
this
midget
court.
porn on that again.
Okay, you can be quiet now.
User left your channel.
Are we ready?
Is he not to be let back in?
Yeah, we're ready.
Alright, everyone, listen up. Here's the rules of the courtroom.
Okay.
Is to be absolutely quiet while the court case is going on. No exotic
Sir,
noises
we
like
do the
farting,
process.
burping,
You'll have
anything
to
like
re-enter the
that.
courthouse.
Failure to do so, you will be removed from the court and possibly fined and jailed up to 120
Sir,
months in
sir.
jail.
Sir.
Twitter.
Also, in the courtroom, you cannot have any cell phones out recording or posting on Twitter about anything about the court case.
Witnesses.
Sir.
Well, let me put it
No
this
threatening
way.
witnesses.
The person who just kicked you out as
And
well.
also no threatening witnesses as well.
Federal units.
Or suspects.
For federal. For federal.
Sir.
For federal
So starting now, starting now, if anyone breaks any of these rules,
more power.
Sir.
so
you have to go now.
I
You're
feel
gonna
sorry
have to go
for
after
you.
I can't go inside.
All right, everyone may take your seats.
User joined your channel.
All rise.
I wouldn't make everybody stand up so they don't have to fuck up their shit.
Stop.
Sir,
Guys,
stop.
I was just saying.
I can't go in there because they were.
So we're just RPing like everybody's gonna stay
Okay,
seated,
yeah.
I guess.
Hold up the
Okay.
guy.
All
Everybody-
right. Well,
Yeah,
all right,
sweet.
for Honorable Judge Chung.
Well, you can if a guy's just bursted back in. No, you.
Greetings, Your
you've
Honor.
Gotta go back in.
Good afternoon,
evening.
Your Honor. Love the time.
I can't. I physically
Thank you.
can't enter there. The interior hasn't loaded.
All right,
That's
ladies
why
and
I haven't
gentlemen,
done it.
court is now in session.
Oh wait, the jurors need to be sworn.
In there, so,
That is
I don't wanna just
what was on my next list. Thank you.
disturb court.
At this time, jurors, you're going to be sworn in by the bailiff.
so-
Bailiff, if you would please go over and do that. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we're gonna still have to.
No
take
weapons.
Hello, everyone. All right, I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna say this, and you're all gonna respond with either yes or yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor. Any of that. Either one works. All right.
Or no, if you don't agree.
Suddenly
That
needed
too.
to be a witness that got bullied out.
Do
So
you and each of you understand and
he's good to
agree
go.
that you will well and truly try the cause now pending before the court, a true verdict rendered according only to the evidence presented to you and the instruction of the court?
He's disturbing it, so he'll get. A,
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yep. Your Honor.
Yes.
He'll get deported anyway. So.
All right.
He's disturbing it because as soon as I went up to the door,
All right.
they said all right.
As stated, court is now in session. We'll begin with opening statements.
Run in there and disturb it.
DA, you may speak.
You kind of have to like it.
Alrighty.
I'm not gonna get banned.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court,
You're not gonna get banned for it. You're doing
jury.
your job. Why would you get banned? for
today
doing your
I will
job?
present my case against Dustin Woody.
No, but you're doing your job because the guy ran in.
Yeah, true.
Within this case, I will be using
You
witnesses.
could tell.
I will
you
present
guys-
physical evidence,
Wait, what?
and I will tell you
Did he just fall over?
why Dustin Woody is guilty of the crimes of which he is being charged of.
Okay.
His charges that I am pushing are as followed.
The idea of it.
Watch out.
And then if he comes out, I'll.
There you go.
If he runs back in, then. Yeah.
25850 PC Penal Code, carrying a loaded firearm in public.
Sit down, Jeff.
I don't know why this.
Everyone hear that?
His hands up, he can go and scroll.
Yes.
All right.
No idea. In a sec, I'm gonna have.
This
to
individual
reload,
here, he will
'cause,
state lies.
I need to be able to go into that court.
He will try and confuse you because he understands that you guys are no lawyers, and he will try to manipulate the jury. Although I am here
disconnected from
to
your
present the
channel.
facts, and only the true facts, and to present to you why he is guilty of this crime. Today we will discuss things such as the Law Enforcement Officer Safety Act, which pretty much
User joined your
states
channel.
that law enforcement under this act can carry weapons on and off duty
Yeah.
and shall not be charged with state crimes while doing so. Although there are restrictions to this law, one main restriction that we will be focusing on today is a restriction which states exactly.
I believe he's. I believe. He's
One moment, I have it in my
either
notes.
The back or the second back row on your left-hand side as you walk in. It would be dark, dark brown hair.
This specifically states in the law. It states
Okay, so
the LEOSA states officers may carry a weapon on and off duty unless the following
okay, doors are closed from now on.
is authorized by the agency to carrying the firearm. So these are all the things which would allow them to carry the firearm. Is authorized by the agency to carry a firearm, is not subject to any disciplinary action by the agency which could result in suspension or loss of police powers, meets the standards, if any, established by the agency which require the employee to regularly qualify in the use of a firearm, and let me specify, it also states is not under the influence of alcohol or another intoxicating or hallucinatory drug or substance, and is not prohibited by federal law from receiving a firearm.
User left your channel.
To specifically
User
go
left
over
your
how this is
channel.
relevant to this case, this individual here is going to claim that he was allowed to have a firearm due to the fact that he falls under that law. Although what I just read to you is the restrictions of this law, and it states that if you are under the influence of alcohol, you can no longer fall under this law. Meaning, since he's no longer protected by this law, he can be charged with state laws, which is what I'm charging him with.
Sit the fuck down, Jeff.
So to reiterate, he is no longer protected by the LEOSA due to the fact that he was under the influence of alcohol. And since he was no longer protected by the law, he was then eligible to be prosecuted with state laws. And therefore,
User left
I am
your channel.
prosecuting him with the law
User joined your
under the
channel.
state of California's Penal Code, carrying a loaded firearm in public. I hope that you guys today will not be deceived by his lies. I hope you guys today come together and put a guilty man in a prison. That is all, Your Honor, and that is all the jury.
Thank you, Mr. DA. Officer Woody, you may now approach and give your opening statement.
My fellow Americans,
Oh God.
today I come to you about a situation that is just astonishing.
User left your channel.
A clothed on-duty officer going to a casino, being hindered by a Blaine County Sheriff's officer, not questioning, not asking, but telling me he's going to come in and arrest me, not knowing full well what the underlying circumstances could be, not knowing that there could be something else going on, but assuming. And we all know what assumptions do. They make an ass out of me and you. Today we're going to go through a lot of things, and I'm going to show you evidence privy to this case that'll show that the justice is not being served and that we have a corrupt cop. I'm going to give you evidence showing that this officer lied under oath and failed to do his duties that he was sworn in to do as an officer of the law. But today, I am the holy God of all wrongs. And today, I'm going to show you all what we're going to do today. And I am going to make sure that this sets a precedent in the Los Santos Department of Justice and that the DA researches. That is all.
Thank you, Officer Woody. All right. Prosecution, you may now present your case.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court,
User disconnected from your channel.
I will start with introducing my evidence so that you guys know where to go to when I mention such evidence. The only evidence of which I will be using is a search warrant, which gives us the right to get his body cam, as well as his body cam. While Wood was arrested, his body cam was rolling. The body cam footage of which you guys can find will be under the Discordian channel called one second. It's called Court Case Los Santos, and it'll be right under FAQ, Rules, and Files. It'll also be right over DOJ Los RP 5M server.
Objection, Your Honor. This body cam footage was never subpoenaed, nor a motion was supplied to any judge or warrant was executed on my behalf, nor was I ever served a warrant on this body cam footage, and I request that this be dismissed
User left
and
your
removed.
channel. User joined your channel.
This
User
body
joined
cam
your channel.
footage was presented at the very beginning of this court, in the discovery phase.
Also,
Where
Your Honor,
was the warrant?
It was. Also, Your Honor,
And
this
who
individual
executed
here.
this warrant?
Also, Your Honor, this individual here has also presented his own evidence, including the body cam. Thus,
Because I don't need a warrant to give out my
exactly,
own
but
evidence.
you using the body cam also gives us the right to use it.
Did you ask for it?
I don't.
Did you
I
get
did
permission?
actually. Also, I don't need to, since you using it also gives me the right
Gentlemen.
to use your evidence.
Gentlemen,
Mr. Kennedy.
approach the bench.
Oh, this is good.
I have a warrant.
I understand. Approach
Who
the bench.
executed the warrant?
Officer Woody, that warrant was executed by the co-judge in this city, also
Do
known
we have a
as Judge
copy of that signed
Alexander.
and secured, and do I have a copy of that?
Yes, you actually do have the
Where?
warrant.
Where is the copy of it in my inbox? Where is the signed copy?
You do have the warrant. It's.
I have no copy of this. This is a false court document, and this should be immediately dismissed.
User
It is not a
disconnected
false
from your
court
channel.
document.
User joined your channel.
I don't have
It
it.
was signed by a judge itself, which makes it a valid warrant.
Where is the copy sent to me?
Your Honor, I do believe that a copy of a warrant for search and seizure does not actually need to be supplied to him, as it's
Yes,
already
it
public
would, but
knowledge.
they would need to come to me
It's
to get
public
the
information,
information.
so he should have been
Need
able
to
to
watch some
access
kicks,
it.
bud.
We're
Your Honor.
shown the evidence.
Your Honor,
Sir,
to be clear,
according to the trial flow and rules of court procedures, he would have needed to obtain a warrant to get that cited
Which he
footage.
did.
okay, can I speak, please?
Yes.
When another individual uses body cam as evidence, we have the right to use the same evidence, as he has the right to use our evidence. Therefore,
specific
even
clips
if we
of-
didn't have a warrant, we would still be able to use it because you use it as your evidence.
I have two sections.
It doesn't matter.
Your objection is sustained. I will allow this evidence as it was presented at the very
you
beginning.
mean sustained?
What is-
You mean denied?
Yes.
Jesus.
Shut the fuck up.
I just wanted to make sure that the
User
jury knows.
joined your channel.
I motion to strike down that conversation from the jury records, and that they cannot be used, and that they cannot use that conversation when they are deciding their fate of him.
I will allow it.
All right, just to be clear, everything that was just said was strike down, and the evidence will be allowed to be used. Anyways, as I continue, you guys can find that evidence in the channel of which I told you. As I go through, I will give timestamps to tell you exactly what I'm talking about as I go through with testimonies and witnesses. Do you guys understand? Any questions? The jury?
I got a question. Where is that law that you state that a police officer gets to have a weapon on them? You said
It's the law enforcement. It's the Law Enforcement Safety Act.
Can you post it in the safe place?
Yeah, you're
as
right.
a-
I should put that down there. I apologize.
Put the warrant in
I
there,
wasn't
too.
using it as evidence, so I didn't. But
Yeah.
I will put it down there for you guys to see.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other than that, no, we're good.
We do.
I will put a I'll put a website which gives a brief definition, so you guys here. You know what? Here, 1 second.
Just give it to the leader.
The act. And then you can also find the direct example of which I used during my opening statement. Although I'm going to continue with presenting my evidence, if I may, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the court.
Sir, please follow us.
I would like to first begin by stating at 5:09:15 of the body cam video, Yep. At 5:09:15, Officer Dustin Woody calls into dispatch that he will be checking in to make sure everyone's fine at the Diamond Casino. That is the only warning that he gave that he will be there. May I be clear that he never once called into dispatch 10:41. I'm sorry, 10:42, 10:07, which means he never called into dispatch that he was going off duty. Therefore, the entire time that he was at the casino, he was never off duty.
If you go into your menu and you flex
Along with that, at 5:11:20, the officer states, getting ready to knock a few back to the fellow officer who was with him, hinting to the fact that he was getting ready to knock a few drinks of alcohol back. Within this body cam, you will also be able to see a 911 alert, which states that the chief of police, as well as another officer, are drunk at the casino, which is the entire reason as to why the arresting officer arrived on scene at the first place. Therefore, he did have probable cause to arrive at the scene because there was a 911 call stating that the chief of police, as well as another officer, were drunk at the scene. I will explain to you guys, and you can also see this in the video, that the arresting officer was not the first to arrive on scene, rather a CHP unit. The CHP unit arrived on scene, in which he called backup, and I will use exactly what he said, or around what he said. He stated that I'm gonna need backup at the 911 call due to the chief of police acting blatantly drunk, is what he said. When he called that into dispatch, the arresting officer, then came, as he was already in the city. He went to the casino and arrived on scene. I'm now going to call my first witness, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Alright, I call Frank Moses, Officer Frank Moses, to the stand.
Everyone's in court. How can I make money legit if all my bosses are in the court?
Oh, sorry. I was going.
Around this way.
Oh, not this side?
I haven't got a truck
No,
driving
sir.
license, sadly. That means I will need a 6-wheel truck driving license. I only have a 4.
Can you speak to make sure the jury can hear you? Shouldn't it be over there to be more clear for the jury?
I think they should be able to hear me just fine.
Yeah,
It's really quiet.
Your Honor, do you mind if he can stay over there so that they can hear him fine?
That's fine. You can move over there, but he needs to be sworn in.
10-4. I mean, yes, Your Honor.
10-4.
Alright, Mr. Moses. Repeat this after me, alright? I do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare
I do solemnly and sincerely and truly declare
and affirm that the evidence I shall give
and affirm that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Alright, you can proceed.
What will you be arresting me for? Not banned from the premises. Not trespassing. It's
1 second, Your Honor. I just get my notes.
Take your time.
No need for this abuse.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Alright. Can you say your first and last name for the jury?
Frank Moses.
Did the jury hear that?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we do.
Alright. You're an officer of the law, correct?
That is correct, Blaine County Sheriff's Department.
User left your channel.
All right. Why did you arrive on scene?
I received a 911 call about the chief of police and one other officer drinking at the casino, and as I was headed back to county for the
User
city,
left your
it's
channel.
on my way, so I figured I'd stop and investigate.
Okay. And before you arrived, did an officer who was already on scene call for backup?
Yes, it was a CHP officer.
Can you recall what he said? Or around what he said?
He stated over the radio that it was a high-profile case, being it was the chief of police and one other higher up within the Los Santos Police Department. So I responded Code 3 at that point as internal affairs.
Okay. All right. And what did you see when you arrived on scene?
Once I arrived on scene and entered the premises, before descending the main down staircase into the lobby, into the gaming floor, I observed Chief Wood and the other officer at the bar. They were drinking beers, and then I observed myself, Chief Wood, drink 2 or 3 shots of hard liquor. At that point, he walked away from the bar, seemed to be walking a little bit funky. He seemed to be stumbling a little bit, and went over to the slot machines. At that point, I noticed his weapon was on him, and he was dressed in full in his police-issued uniform. So
User
at
joined
that
your
point, then I
channel.
decided it was time to
Okay.
make an arrest.
All right.
User joined your
And
channel.
while on duty, did you ever once hear him call off duty?
I did not, no. In fact, I heard the opposite about 20 minutes before the 911 call, stating that he was going in to, quote, check on things, unquote.
Check on things at the casino?
Correct.
Okay. Just to be clear, did he appear under the influence or impaired in any way?
He did, yes.
Can you explain how?
His walk and his gait was a clear sign that it was not a sober walk. It was sluggish, slightly tripping over his toes. Just the way he was acting in general is that of one under the influence.
Okay. And is there a direct or specific policy written down and signed by the chiefs or the sheriffs of the Blaine County Sheriff's Department or office which states the jurisdiction of BCSO?
There is no set policy for jurisdiction for BCSO.
And when the 911 call was made, were you in the city or were you in Blaine County?
I was in the city on an unrelated case.
Okay. Is it normal for Blaine County Sheriff's Office officers to arrive on scene to 911 calls and robberies that happen in the city if there are no calls in Blaine County?
Yes, it is very common actually, and very welcome by other departments as well.
And is it common for Los Angeles Police Department to arrive on scene or respond to calls that are at Blaine County?
Yes, it is very common for them to respond to calls in Blaine County and welcomed by BCSO.
Okay. And were there any orders by your superiors to remain in Blaine County?
At that time, no.
Okay. So then you would say that you are within your jurisdiction then?
Yes.
When you were near him, when you were arresting him, did you smell alcohol in his breath?
Yes, I did.
When he was in custody, did he ever talk about, after you read him his rights? No, actually, did you read him his rights?
Yes, I did. I read him his rights immediately after placing him into custody.
Alright, and just to be clear, Jerry, I will tell you the exact timestamp of which he read his rights. At 5:18:00, he read him his rights. After he was read his rights and in custody, did he ever state that he had drunken alcohol, whether it be just a few drinks or even remotely mention the fact that he was drinking alcohol?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Would you say, would you consider him influenced or under the influence? Would you consider the amount of alcohol that he drank reasonable cause to consider him under the influence?
With the shots that I observed him drinking and the beer that I observed him with before the shots, that gives me no reason to think he was not influenced by alcohol.
And the way that he was acting, would you consider him under the influence?
Yes.
So then you would say, since he was under the influence, that he would no longer be under the Law Enforcement Safety Act?
Yes, that is how my understanding of that law, yes.
Okay. Alright, Your Honor, that's all from me.
Alright. Officer Woody, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Give me 2 seconds real quick. I'm trying to pull up the video on my computer real quick here.
Hey, Mr. Woody,
Yeah.
step over here real quick.
He's my, chief.
Your Honor? Is he part of the council?
Go ahead, check your email.
I do not believe so. Not that
So
I'm
then
aware.
you should not be communicating with him in regards to this case.
And also, Your Honor, if I may, I remember a communique, interdepartmental communique stating that that certain individual was stepping down from his role as a chief of police.
That's not relevant. He shouldn't be talking with him because he's not part of the council.
Okay, all right. Let's all calm down.
Understood.
I understand you get very upset.
Officer Woody, do not let that happen again.
Excuse me?
Your Honor, I would like
Do
to...
not let it
I
happen.
intend to be calling.
I understand. You can speak with him when he's on the witness stand.
Your Honor, I would like...
Allow it. Move on, Officer Woody.
I would like to talk without being interrupted. If I get interrupted again, I want him striked.
It was already asked and it was already answered previously.
Mr. Frank Moses, you said in your testimony sworn in to the DA that you observed me directly consuming alcohol. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
You directly observed me consuming alcohol. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You watched me knock back 3 alcoholic beverages. Is that
User
correct?
entered your channel.
That is correct.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I would direct the witnesses to look into evidence-1, which would show Mr. Frank Moses not at the scene, not observing, and showing me drinking any alcoholic beverages. In fact, he was not even on the premises, and I had already walked away from the bar stand. Therefore, falsely testifying, falsely reporting in his report that he observed me knocking back these 3 beverages.
Your Honor, in those videos, in that body cam footage, you can clearly see that he is not always looking towards the entrances or exits, so he could not know whether or not I was there watching.
Your Honor, I'd like to strike that down as false due to the fact that his body cam is not pointing at the officer at the entirety of the time that he was there.
I'll deny your objection. That is
I
up for
would
the
like
jury to
also
decide.
people to be pointing towards 5:14:40 or 5:14:39 in the video. You can see me look over at the entrance, and guess where Mr. Moses is in that video? Not to be seen. I had already walked away from the bar. I had nothing in my hand, and he was not even in the view of me supposedly drinking this alcohol.
Your Honor, he never looks back.
Officer
Are you
Woody,
sure,
I
Mr.
would like to remind you this is cross-examination. You're to ask questions.
Your Honor, I would like to object to that due to the fact that he never looks back. If you watch the video, he's not looking back.
Are you sure, Mr. Kennedy? I think you should check your eyes.
Yes, sir.
5:14:38. I look over and I'm
Sir,
walking
are
away
you
from
looking
the bar.
over or are you looking over?
Gentlemen, move on.
Maybe you should watch the
Officer
video.
Woody, you may proceed with your questions. When you present your case, you may then present your evidence. This is cross-examination. You may ask questions and questions only.
All right, Mr. Moses, you explained in your report that I was consuming alcohol and you observed me drinking. That is correct.
Yes, as I've already answered.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me.
Your Honor, asked and answered.
Step outside, please.
Loud. Move
I'm
on,
getting
Officer
really
Woody.
upset right now,
Don't
and
worry.
shit's about to go down.
Don't worry. I stopped her.
All
I
right.
stopped her.
You also, at any point in time, did you ask or get in connection with the Los Santos County Police Department to make sure that there was no investigations being taken down into
Objection,
the...
Your Honor. He needs to stay within the scope of my examination.
You're being.
Allow it. That is true. Cross-examination. You must stay in the scope of what his questions were asked. Officer Woody.
It's a pure clean-cut case.
Officer Woody, if you would like to ask questions outside of the scope, you must call him up as your witness.
I have no further questions. This is bullshit.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm just.
Sir, it's not bullshit. It's the way that the United
You're a
States court
fucking
works.
idiot.
Officer Woody, comments like that are not allowed in this
All right,
courtroom.
I have no more questions for the individual.
To do that, unfortunately.
I would like to address the jury before I continue.
Mr. Moses, you may step down from the stand.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
User joined your channel.
this individual never once looks back. He might.
1 moment, officer.
What I mean is that his camera, if you look at the video, his camera is never facing back. That's all that you guys need to take into account. Along with that, I want you guys to all take into account his witness testimony, of which states that he witnessed him acting under the influence.
Yeah, that's no problem. I think I'll be good.
Meaning that not only did he see him knock a few back, he witnessed him look as if he knocked a few back, i.e., he looked under the influence. I would also like to state that his abrupt manner in this courtroom not only disrespects the very multitude of the importance of our court system, the democracy of which we live in, but it shows his character.
Objection,
it shows
Your Honor,
that this
that is
individual.
presumptions.
1 moment.
What was that?
Yeah.
I'm using the evidence, the testimony, to present my case. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I continue?
You may continue.
As I was.
Just whisper.
His abrupt actions in the courtroom show his character. It shows that something such as drinking while on duty or drinking with a gun is not out of character for him. It shows that he is reckless, and it shows that he is negligent. The very point of this case.
Your Honor, objection. That was his predecessor, his uncle.
Sir, objections, they have to be certain things. They
Okay,
can't
well,
just
he
be...
is bringing up a past of someone that has nothing to do
Your
with
Honor,
this.
I'm not. I'm stating that your abruptions in this specific court case shows your character.
Yeah. 1 second.
Anyways, the way that he acted, the way that he insulted me in this courtroom, further shows that he is negligent and reckless, the same as drinking while on duty. Oh.
Is he drunk?
I believe he just went hungry.
I think he's got a problem.
Pretty much right.
Diabetes. I always said diabetes kills.
No, I managed to get to this person just in time.
Your Honor, sorry, I forgot to eat sugar. My sugar level's low. You mind if I just take a moment to eat my burger and drink some water?
You may.
Alright.
User joined your channel.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Got it from my father. Sorry about that. As I was saying, I was simply reiterating the fact that he is reckless and that he is negligent. I'd also like to reiterate the fact that he was on duty when he was drinking. The individual here is using the best that he can. He's coming up with lies. He's coming up with all these arguments out of his ass to try and get out of these charges. I'm going to continue presenting my case now.
You may proceed.
If you guys redirect back to the video, to the body cam footage, at 5:11:40, you hear him state, "About to have me some crown. How about you?" I checked the menus of the casino, of which they do serve crown liquor, showing him ordering alcohol. At 5:11:29, he states to the fellow officer, "Drink as much as possible and not have to worry about it." He, despite being on duty, stated to his fellow officer that he didn't have to worry about drinking. He even lied to the fellow officer and stated that he was on duty despite him never once going off duty. If he's gonna lie to his fellow officers to try and make what he's doing look right, how can we trust anything that he says now? Continuing on. At 5:13:29, he even begins singing. Yes, singing. When does he ever sing? And he sings, "Getting drunk up in here," numerous times. You know, I'll even present it for you. "Getting drunk up in here, getting drunk up in here," is exactly what he said, as he had a beer in his hand and he was singing. He's claiming that he wasn't under the influence, but I mean, this further shows that he was. At 5:16, he is detained by the officer, and at 5:18, he's read his rights. Your Honor, I'd like to call my next witness.
You may proceed.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Mr. Chief Dustin Woody to the stand.
Will the witness please stand and be sworn in by the bailiff?
All right, Mr. Rudy, would you please repeat after me?
Yes,
I do solemnly,
swear,
sincerely and truly declare and affirm
sincerely, truly declare and affirm
that the evidence I shall give
that the testimony I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
All right, you may proceed.
Pity.
Comments.
Alrighty. Can you please state your name and last name for the jury?
Dustin Roswell Woody.
What's your position?
I am the chief of the Los Santos County Police Department.
Alright. Did you ever call yourself off duty?
No, sir.
Okay. Why did you go to the casino?
Because of an investigation on the grand opening of the Diamond Casino, as it was the grand opening night.
Quiet your ass up, boy.
Okay. Did you drink any alcohol there?
No, sir.
You drank no alcohol there?
No, sir.
Okay. When you were tested for alcohol content 2 hours later in custody, what did your test come back as?
0.00001.
If you never drank any alcohol, how did it come back as anything?
Before I went to the Diamond Casino, my wife was going to be meeting me there, and I washed and brushed my teeth. I used Listerine mouthwash and to ensure that I had the nice present breath when I kissed my fiancé.
Listerine mouthwash is not going to give you 0.1%. That is ridiculous.
Well, are you a medical examiner?
Okay. Anyways, gonna continue on. If you were never under the influence, why did you start singing "Getting Drunk" up in here?
Because we needed to play an act to ensure that we could watch and observe what was going on inside the Diamond Casino to see if we had any illegal gambling.
Hold on. Okay. Why were you at the Diamond Casino? You told me that you were at the Diamond Casino because it was a grand opening. Now you're telling me that you were there to what?
Sir, are you misquoting? I just stated that we were there for an investigation and observed the Diamond Casino.
Your Honor, he stated at first that he was only there because it was the grand opening. Is he lying in court?
Did I just say that we were there for an investigation?
But before you didn't say that.
Yes, we did.
He did. He did say that.
It did say that.
I did hear him say that.
I think you have some dementia going on.
You may proceed.
Can't
Alright,
investigate
I'm
if it's a
sorry.
grand opening.
You said that you were there for an investigation?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, so
Kennedy.
then why, when you were in custody, you never once stated that you were there for an investigation?
You did not ask me that question.
Okay, but when you were arrested, it could have just simply been said, hey, actually, I believe the officer did ask you why you were there, and which I believe you stated.
Well, he is not privy to the investigation, nor did he contact the department prior to his arrival to find out if there was an investigation going on. He immediately, abruptly interjected himself and broke the investigation.
What were you investigating?
We were watching the Diamond Casino. There was a grand opening. We were ensuring that all their slots, bar, and everything had the proper liquor license, that they were properly running.
Okay, then during your body cam, why did you never once mention the investigation to your fellow officers?
Because they were not part of it, nor did they need to know. You do not break an investigation code or code of conduct with that.
If you're conducting an investigation... Give me a moment, Your Honor. Can I just review my notes real quick before I continue?
You may.
Oh.
Alright, I'll begin again. During the discovery phase, did you present any documentation to prove that you were under an investigation?
As a chief of police, I do not have to call myself off duty, nor do I have to...
I never... Sir, I asked
I don't
if you
have
ever
to
provided
provide
any...
any kind of credibility. Actually, my witness that I planned to call was Bravo 343. He works with the Gang and Gun and Task Force. He was one of the investigation officers
User left your
that has been investigating the Diamond Casino as money laundering. Now that we just cracked that egg open.
Alright, then how come you
Howard,
never
it's
once
Brad,
stated
what?
that he would be a witness? You never stated it in the discovery phase. You do realize that any witness has to be stated in the discovery phase. Along with that, you never once provided any documentation to prove that you were investigating. Is that correct?
Legally, we do not have to disclose any investigations that are not...
Okay, I'm just saying, did you provide any... I'm going to ask you, did you provide any investigation documentation in the discovery phase?
We do not have to, nor are we allowed to.
Sir, I'm asking you a question, yes or no?
No.
Okay. During the discovery phase, did you at all state that you would be calling up the assistant chief of police for for testification, for a testimony?
We did. Yesterday.
You did not.
I'm sure you don't remember that one, as you didn't remember me stating what I said earlier.
Please keep comments like that to a minimum.
All right, sir. So can you, we can go to the computer and you can show me exactly where you called him, because you never once stated in your you did I will admit you did send 2 pieces of evidence yesterday, part of your body cam, but you never once said that you'd be calling him up for a testimony.
Well, he is part of the agency, so therefore he would need to be called up as he is part of the investigation agency on this.
Yeah, but again, if you want to have any witnesses, you have to state it in the discovery. Anyways, I'm going to continue with my cross-examination. I mean direct examination. We can argue that later. So you state that you were never under the influence and that you never drank any alcohol there. Then why is it shown in your body cam that you were holding a beer and that you sipped the beer?
Well, sir, those are what they call sparkling grape juice. They're commonly used on New Year's Eve party and celebrations. You drink those. There is no alcohol in them. They are almost like a teaser and have a fizz in effect to them.
Sir, it wasn't a champagne glass. It was a beer bottle.
Are you sure about that, sir?
I'm 100% sure.
Okay.
It is so clear that it's the body cam sees.
Okay. Well, if in a 15-minute period of me being arrested and breathalyzer being done, wouldn't I have had a higher than a .00001 BAC?
It wasn't, sir. It wasn't within 15 minutes. You weren't breathalyzed test for within the next 2 hours, and then you were in custody.
sure
and you
about
were
that?
breathalyzed test. Oh, sorry. What?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
There is non-alcoholic beer sold in...
Questions, gentlemen.
So,
User left your channel.
how come at 5:10 of your body cam you start to begin saying, "If something happens to me," and then you're cut off? What were you gonna say?
This officer in question, I am not going to comment about it.
So you're using your Fifth Amendment right?
This officer has an ongoing investigation for his misconduct.
User left your channel.
Okay. That wasn't the question. I was asking why you said that.
That is why I said that, because he is misconduct-ish.
Misconduct-ish. Okay. And can you provide any documentation to prove that he's under investigation?
No, because it's under investigation by the feds.
The feds?
Yeah.
You're saying the FBI is investigating...
Myself, Bravo 343, and many other people are all investigating this individual, as he has been using his vehicle for other things. And
can you specify what individual so the jury understands who you're talking about?
Frank Moses.
Okay. And before you said the feds were investigating them, now you're investigating them?
Oh, yes. We all are. As he struck my vehicle many times
User
on other
joined your
different
channel.
issues.
Okay, so because of that, you began saying, if something happens to me.
He's a trigger-happy
okay, hold on.
cop.
All right. So you said that. Okay, so remember when you were testifying? Let's just be clear. When you were questioning Frank Moses, you stated that he was never there until afterwards, until after you left, and that he never saw you drinking. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So then, when you stated that, if something happens to me, with your logic, you had no idea that he was arriving on scene, because with your logic, you never saw him.
I had my radio active still, and I heard him calling in that he was coming to the scene. You can hear him in the radio say he is on his way.
Okay, so you said that because you knew he was coming because you had your radio on.
Yes, he is a... Yeah.
If you... Alright, was your investigation undercover?
Yes.
If your investigation was undercover, why were you in your uniform?
Because I'm allowed to.
Okay, but if it's an undercover investigation, shouldn't it be undercover?
It does not have to be. You can be plainclothes or
User
clothed.
joined your channel.
Okay, so then how is it undercover then?
We were watching
User
certain
left your
aspects that are
channel.
not privy to this case.
It is privy because it's going to decide. Again, sir, it is. Because you're
We cannot
claiming...
disclose investigations and other cases that
User
have not been
joined your
disclosed.
Sir, if you want us to ask the public to step out and just with the jury, we can do that. Because it is relevant.
Your Honor, I would ask that this be overruled.
Your Honor, it is relevant because he's claiming that he wasn't under the influence and that he wasn't drinking alcohol because he was investigating. We need to know what he was investigating. And we need to have proof that there was an investigation.
User left your
I just
channel.
said why.
You didn't. You're refusing to.
You did state why, however, we do have the option of sending the public out and you just speaking to the jury.
Your
That way
Honor,
we
I've
can get to the
explained
bottom of
multiple
this.
times what we were there for, and it is still not, for some reason, crossing his mind.
I just asked you a question and you told me you couldn't answer it because it was a part of an investigation that wasn't privy to this case.
I explained what we were doing.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the question again then. Why were you wearing a uniform while
User
undercover?
joined your channel.
We were investigating the bar and liquor license, the slot machine funds, and how they were working. We were making sure that they had all their regulations stamped and posted on every slot machine, and that they had their liquor license in the area and set up. There's also a few other investigations going on.
So if you were, to just be clear, you were drinking fake alcohol, so you claim to remain what?
I needed to go to the bar to order something, and it would look very suspicious and odd if I'm.
Okay, so you're doing it in an attempt to remain undercover, correct?
Correct. I didn't want them to think I was just going there to look at their liquor license. I came there to see them as if I was coming to play and enjoy the new casino.
So you think that the casino workers would think it was normal for an officer who was on duty in an officer uniform going there and drinking beer with a weapon on them?
Yeah.
Can you explain the logic to me and the jury of that?
Per the Los Santos County Police Department weapons and arms policy, and being the chief of...
Hold on. Let's just pretend none of us know what that is, because honestly, I don't. You need to explain to the jury what that is.
It's not a requirement of the court for me to disclose our weapons and arms policy, nor the fact why I...
Your Honor, if he's not going to disclose it, then I don't think it should be used in court, because they don't know what it is.
You need to at least explain what the acronym means.
The weapons and arms policy is a policy by the Los Santos County Police Department where we have specific regulations on officers and officer ranks of what they cannot do with their weapon or their duty weapon at all times. As a chief of police, I do not have to call myself on duty or be off duty to maintain a credibility of an investigation. I also do not have to have my firearm removed from my body as a chief of Los Santos County Police Department. I may bring it to any sort of event, as well as the under chief and my captains and my sergeants are allowed to maintain their duty weapons at all times, even off duty or in a bar, a club, a movie theater, or any sort of event or park.
All right, stop. How is that relevant? We're not arguing that you had a weapon on you and we're charging you because you were in a specific place.
Sorry about that, guys. My Tokyo VoIP crashed, and I don't know. That's never happened before. That was quite interesting.
Okay.
Connected. Channel switched.
And just to be clear, being under the influence violates the Law Enforcement Safety Act, correct?
That is your presumption?
It's not my presumption, it's what the law states. I mean, you're the chief of police, you should know the law, correct?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right and refuse to answer this question.
Okay, I'll move on.
I have a question. What was the amount that he was deemed for in regards to alcohol content in his blood?
Hold on, I'll mention that later.
Well, he said it earlier, so I just want to...
Yeah, I'll mention it in my case, and he'll mention his case. It's just, let me continue the examination. Continuing on. Were you read your rights?
User joined your channel.
After being arrested and questioned what I was doing there.
Your Honor, I'd like to strike that down. That's false.
The officer walked up to me and said, "What are you doing here, Mr. Woody?" And I said, "I do not have to tell you." He then put me in custody, therefore asking a question before an arrest without...
And I wasn't gonna use that question in the case, therefore it's not relevant. Your rights only state that you have the right to remain silent and that anything you do or say will be answered in a court of law. If you say anything before that, obviously I can't use it in court. But I didn't use anything in court, so it's false. So let me ask the question again. Were you read your rights, yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, was I?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
Did you or did you not start singing getting drunk up in here?
Yeah.
Did you or did you not state about to have some Crown and then get a bottle of liquor and drink it?
Yes.
So you got a bottle of liquor and drank it?
No, I did not.
You just said yes. Did he not, Your Honor? Did
You
he
asked
not,
if
the jury?
I said that sentence.
And then I say, and get a bottle of liquor and drink it. Did I not?
That was what I said in my song that I was singing, which was
You never
Little John and
stated
the
get a
Ying
bottle
Yang.
of liquor and drink it. Here's my question again.
Okay.
I stated, did you get a bottle of liquor and drink it? And you
No.
said yes.
I did not.
Okay. Anyways, continuing on. Did you or did you not state to the officer getting ready to drink to knock a few back?
Yes, I did.
Did you or did you not get the bottle of liquor which you claim is fake from the bar?
It was called sparkling grape juice, sparkling wine.
Okay, and do you have any evidence that they serve that there?
Do you have any evidence that I purchased that?
I asked you if you got it from the bar, and then you said it's
Yes,
called
I did.
sparkling.
They also sell it for non-alcoholic minors.
Minors
Objection.
can't be in a
Minors
casino.
can't.
It's
They actually have suites that you can rent. So if the parents are having a celebration, they may take the bottle up there, so they feel as if they
okay.
are.
So to be clear, again, because you're not answering my questions clearly, for the jury, did you get that so-claimed fake bottle of liquor from the bar?
Yes, Mr. Kennedy.
Okay. Did you get the fake beer bottle from the bar?
Yes, Mr. Kennedy.
And did you get the fake shots from the bar?
I never consumed any shots. Did you see that?
Okay, so then you just say no. Okay. Did you or did you not say, gotta drink while I can?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right and refuse to answer that question.
Okay. If you were under an investigation, why were you communicating with fellow officers? Why weren't you conducting the investigation?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right and refuse to answer that question.
Okay. Your Honor, that's all.
Thank you.
For this testimony.
You may step down.
Alright, I'm gonna address the jury.
Oh! He knows.
If you do that again, you're going to be held in contempt.
Do it again. Do it again.
You may proceed. Prosecution.
Alright, Your Honor. Alright. The officer states that he wasn't drinking alcohol. Yet,
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask
sworn
you to
by
stop
this
screaming out
officer,
stuff in back here. Okay.
there was a smell of alcohol on his breath.
Keep your mouth shut.
Maybe it was a Listerine that caused the smell of alcohol in his breath. I don't know. Along with that, throughout the testimony, he contradicted himself. He used the Fifth Amendment right, which of course he has the full right to do so. I'm not going to argue that he shouldn't have done that. Although I will say, the fact that he's using a Fifth Amendment right kind of shows that he's not willing to answer a question because he knows he's guilty. The fact that he not once mentioned in discovery that he would be calling up Mr. Bravo 343 or whatever, the Assistant Chief of Police, shows that he's, again, reckless, negligent, doesn't care what he's doing. He's trying to go against the court rules and call out witnesses that he never mentioned in the discovery phase. He's trying to go behind our backs, the backs of the court. He's trying to use loopholes. It is on you guys to ensure that he doesn't do it. It's on you guys to ensure that the law is enforced. And as of right now, it's not being enforced. He's breaking legal procedures. He's lying under testimony. He states that he was undercover, but if he was undercover, why was he wearing his uniform? Never in my life have I seen another undercover officer trying to blend in with the crowd be in a uniform. What? Let's just use logic right now. If you're undercover and you're trying to catch something illegal being done at a casino, do you really think that people would be doing illegal things while there was an officer there in uniform? Yet he claimed that he was just so hard to be in character by fake drinking beer, fake partying, fake singing, fake walking like he was drunk, maybe even fake alcohol smell in his breath. If he were to go that far to be in character, why wouldn't he wear something else other than a police uniform? This just shows that this story was brought up out of his ass, and that it's not true. The fact is, this individual was drunk. He was under the influence. Maybe not drunk, but he definitely was under the influence. He was impaired, and therefore should not have had his weapon on him. Since he was under the influence, since he was impaired, he was no longer protected by the act. Thus...
Objection, Your
User
Honor.
disconnected from your channel.
What are you objecting?
The clause of being under the influence and impaired as if...
Your Honor, there's no specific objection that he's using.
Defendant, you must use a specific objection when you're objecting. As an example, leading the witness. Asked and answered question. Things such as that.
I would like to hear you saying, what's your objection?
The objection of the evidence in ruling that I was under the influence.
Okay. And, okay, explain.
You are claiming I was under the influence.
Correct.
Continue on.
Okay. Just to be clear. Follow me. He'll probably claim that under the influence is defined as over 0.8. Under the influence simply means that he can't act consciously. That he is impaired in some way.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, so Mr. Woody is saying that his blood level was 0.00001, but you're saying it's 0.1. So
it's the same thing. When you're taking a blood test, it's just 0.1.
Okay.
Your Honor, that is not the same thing. You have a different decimal placement.
It's just 0.1. 0.01 is just a placeholder. 0 is a placeholder.
Well, it's
we need
not.
to argue math.
They would be
He said 0.0001, meaning 4 zeros, meaning that it's like 100 underneath the legal limit.
The juror is correct.
Continuing on, I would like to be clear that he didn't take his blood alcohol test.
You said 2 hours.
Yes, 2 hours.
It doesn't drop that fast.
All right.
Yeah, it's one
just
unit.
To be clear,
one unit per hour.
All right. I'm unaware. Am I trying to state my case or am I arguing with the jury now?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can we have the first witness state his badge number, please?
The first one?
Yeah, the first one that was on the stand first.
Go ahead.
Badge number's 3011, and I would like to state that
User joined
in
your
the
channel.
police room at the time of the BAC, it was reported as 0.01. That's what he reported.
Percent or
percent. 0.01%, and that's 2 hours after the event. Your Honor.
All right, continuing on. You guys can deliberate and discuss that at whenever.
User left your channel.
I'm gonna continue on.
You may continue.
User joined your channel.
The point being, he's trying to dissuade. He's trying to pretty much lie.
User joined
He's
your
lying.
channel.
He lied under oath.
Your Honor, I object to the witness's testimony. I think that should be thrown out, as he was not just called back to the witness stand, nor is he on the witness stand again.
I will allow that That is
I would
to be
like
thrown
everything
out.
striked from the record.
Alright, but just to be clear, his call sign will
His
stay
badge number will stay. However, his comment afterwards is to be removed.
Alright.
User
Continuing
disconnected
on.
from your channel. User left your channel.
The fact that he's willing to lie under oath. Again, let's just go over the facts real quick.
User joined your channel.
He arrives on scene. He calls into dispatch that he's going to check out the casino. He's there. He goes to the bar. He's alone at first. And, actually, he's alone, like entirely alone. He goes to the bar. And he orders a drink. He starts drinking. Whether that be alcohol or not, that's not for me to judge. That's for you guys to judge. He's drinking. Then another officer arrives on scene. And then he starts acting more like it's under the influence. And I will use some examples like I've used before. He states, getting ready to knock a few back. Drink as much as possible and not have to worry about it. About to have some Crown. How about you? Gotta drink while we can. Start singing. Getting drunk up in here. He claims all of those things were used to remain in character. To act as if he's blending in. But again, how can he blend in if he's in his officer uniform? How can he catch anyone doing any illegal things by being secret about it if he's wearing an officer uniform? He claims that he was undercover and he was investigating. But he never once provided any documentation to prove that. He never once in the discovery phase stated that he'd be arguing that. He never once provided any documentation of the investigation. He never once stated any witnesses that he would use to prove that he was under investigation or that he was investigating anyone. Which shows that he just came up with this now. He realized, well, I screwed up, and then he decided to say things that weren't true. Maybe he came up with the case last minute. Maybe, I'm going to use this guy to testify and say that I did this. Just to be clear, he never once stated that he'd be calling up the assistant chief to testify. He never once provided any documentation to prove that he was investigating.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Where's this other so-called officer that was there with him drinking, supposedly?
He was unable to attend tonight.
He's unable to attend.
Yeah, he was asked to. But he was unable to, and he'll be held in contempt due to not testifying in court. Failure to appear, pretty much.
Are we allowed to ask Woody a question?
I mean, that's up to the judge. I don't really think that's procedure.
Your Honor, am I allowed to ask Woody a question?
Really, I think the questions are to make sure they understand specific laws being mentioned.
Typically, I wouldn't. It is not procedure. However, I'll allow it this one time.
Yes.
Hold on, Your Honor. Your Honor, it's the jury's job to use the facts given into court by the prosecution and the defense, and to come up with a conclusion. It's not on the jury to ask questions and come up with a conclusion. It's not their job to ask questions to the defense and then come up with a conclusion. It's their job to use the facts given by myself and him and come up with a conclusion. Therefore, I ask that the question not be asked and the question not be answered.
I understand that. However, if it'll help them come to a clear conclusion of what happened, then I will allow it.
Then, if Mr. Kennedy is so upset about this, maybe I shall walk out of the room and allow the jurors to ask Mr. Kennedy, and then Mr. Kennedy can...
No, that's fine. I just think that it becomes impartial.
I mean,
it becomes unimpartial. I think that
Mr. Kennedy's
it's against this.
feelings.
I think it's violating the ways that juries are supposed to be done. But
There's been many things violated. 53 minutes ago, the warrant was finally posted on the execution of my body.
Sir, present that in your case.
Okay.
User left your channel.
Mr. Woody,
User
can you
joined your channel.
explain why you had your uniform on at the casino?
You
User joined your
can't answer a
channel.
question from a juror. That's not how this works.
I will deny that question as it was asked and answered previously.
To be clear, I asked him why he had his uniform on, in which he used his Fifth Amendment to say... Actually, no, he didn't. He said that he's allowed to wear his uniform undercover and that he was using it and that he can do whatever he wants because he's the chief of police. He said, I'm the chief of police. I can conduct my investigations. Anyways, my point stands. This individual is lying. He was drinking alcohol.
User left your
Maybe
channel.
it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to impair him. And even just a little bit, it violates the Law Enforcement and Safety Act because as soon as he takes a drink of alcohol, he becomes influenced in a way by alcohol. The Act does not specify how much they need to be impaired by.
Alright.
The Act only states...
The
Act only states that if they are under the influence...
I'm just gonna...
Then they are to... That's one of the restrictions, that they were under the influence by alcohol. It never states how much, it just says you're under the influence by
User
alcohol.
left your channel.
And even just a tiny bit to produce a 0.0001% means that he had even just a little bit of alcohol in his system. And therefore is violating that act. And thus is no longer under that act, and thus shall be charged with the charge. He's negligent. He's reckless, as I said before.
User disconnected from your channel.
Let me just review my notes real quick. Along with that, I would like to state that it is heard under his radio, as he stated his radio was on, and it is shown on body cam, that an officer who arrived on scene first stated, "Can I get back
left
up?
Your channel.
Because there are officers here who are acting blatantly drunk." Before the arresting officer arrived on scene, the first officer on scene asked for backup because the chief of police was acting blatantly drunk. If he was conducting an investigation, there would have been no 911 call. Dispatch would have called it off because they knew that there was an investigation going on. There would have been a communication between the departments, and there would have been no arrested. There would have been no arrest. But since there was no investigation, the California Highway Patrol Department didn't know that there was an investigation because there wasn't one. Therefore, they called for backup. They arrived on the 911 call. Dispatch allowed for the 911 call to go through. Due to there being no communication of an investigation, the Blaine County Sheriff's Office arrested him for being under the influence, for acting under the influence. Whether he be acting or not, he wasn't acting, because if he was acting and he was during an investigation, then there would have been communication within the departments which stated this individual is investigating. You don't need to arrest him. This 911 call is invalid. But there wasn't. It didn't happen. BCSO wasn't warned. BCSO went through with their arrest. CHP arrived there on scene first. They called for backup. The dispatch allowed 911 call to go through. Let's just go over the facts. There was a 911 call which stated that he, the chief of police, was drinking.
Your Honor, are we doing closing statements, or am I not able to redirect my witnesses now?
Prosecution, I'm going to ask you to hurry up. You've presented your
Alright, I
evidence
am not done
and
presenting my
I thought
evidence.
this seems like closing.
It's like the fifth time.
Your Honor, I feel as if I'm trying to present my case to the jury, and the jury is communicating back
But
to me.
this
That's
is-
not how a jury case goes. That's not how it works.
Understand you've presented the same facts 3
You
times
keep
now.
repeating yourself.
I mean,
As I
this is-
can.
these are closing
I'm going
statements.
to continue. I'm going to continue presenting my case using the evidence of which I have. "911 call. If there is a civilian who thinks that he's under the influence and they call that he's under the influence, the witness arrives on scene. The officer calls into dispatch. This individual is under the influence. It further proves that he was under the influence.
Spaghetti.
I end my case."
Alright, defendant, you may present your case now.
Oh, okay.
I would
That's okay.
I would like to call my first witness, 3 Sierra 11, Frank Moses.
You may proceed to the stand.
Greetings, Mr. Frank Moses.
Good evening, Woody.
Mr. Frank Moses, I'm reading your arrest report as follows. At 22:24, I was dispatched to a 911 call reporting the chief of LSPD and other officers started drinking at the Diamond Casino while in uniform and while carrying weapons. Upon arrival, I observed Chief Dustin Woody
User joined your channel.
consuming several alcoholic beverages of the liquor shot variety. After seeing this, I observed his sidearm in its holster with the rest of his duty uniform. Suspect was also acting out, being loud and disruptive among the general public of the casino. You observed myself drinking alcohol, correct?
As I've already stated previously before, yes.
I would like to present the jurors evidence 1 located in your court case docket. I would like you to observe this clip. Please raise your hands when you have watched this clip. I would also like you to take a look at evidence 3, which is the arrest report and sworn affidavit written.
Your Honor,
by-
is there a question here? I'm confused. This is a test. This is a direct examination. I know.
Mr. Moses, have you ever wrongly wrote a report?
Order the court.
I have not, no.
User
Have you ever
left your
misspoke
channel.
in a report?
I have not, no.
Have you ever misjudged or misquoted text within a report?
I have not, no.
Did you take a breathalyzer test or not want to give
User joined your channel.
a report on my breathalyzer?
I instructed a deputy to give the breathalyzer. Apparently that deputy decided that he didn't want to, and that's why one was done again. It was done at the PD once this was realized that it was never done.
User joined your channel.
Okay, Mr. Moses.
User joined your channel.
You also reported that I was belligerent and aggressive.
Yes, you were.
How so?
When I made contact with you, you were belligerent. As soon as I started placing you in cuffs, you were not happy
Objection, Your Honor. The question was leading. He didn't ask what he said. He stated what he said, leading to an answer. I would like to strike down the question as well as the answer from the jury.
I will allow it. Please refrain from leading questions. Defense.
Motion to strike down the answer as well as the question from the jury.
Jesus. Am I ever allowed to talk?
Your Honor.
Motion allowed.
So, Mr. Frank Moses, you said and reported that you saw me drinking alcoholic beverages. Did you check the beverages to see if they were alcoholic?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Oh, okay. Just rephrase your question. It was 2 questions in one.
Mr. Frank Moses, did you look at the alcoholic beverages to see if they were alcoholic?
I could see with my eyes that they were alcoholic, yes.
User
Okay,
in your channel
and you
timed
observed
out.
those bottles in my hand?
I did, yes, as well as I observed them from the bartender as well. I'm pretty sure they don't keep non-alcoholic beverages in the same spot with alcoholic.
Jurors, I would like you to take a look at evidence 4, which is a camera at the bar circle, which shows they're not a Blaine County Sheriff officer in view of the bar at the time I was
Objection,
walking
Your
away
Honor.
of
There
the
was
bar.
no warrant for this video. Along with that, he never stated that this was from the casino. There was never a warrant for footage from the casino. He never once stated
I
that the
didn't need
footage
to
was from
provide
the
a
casino.
warrant. They gave it to me freely and clearly.
Okay, and you need to state that it's from the casino and not
I
from
just
yourself. In the discovery phase.
User joined your
Your Honor,
channel.
I'd motion to strike this down due to the fact that it was not stated in the discovery phase that it was footage from the.
Your Honor, I would motion to strike him because he did not provide an
Gentlemen.
executed warrant.
Your Honor,
What
I think
is
it would
that?
be best to have a 5-minute recess.
Yeah, how about we go in your quarters and we'll discuss this.
The court will be taking a 10-minute recess.
Oh my fucking god.
Hey, Ryan.
Oh my god.
No, we need to talk
Mr.
with the
Moses,
Oh, fuck
please
that.
sit on the witness
Fuck
stand.
that, I ain't never scared.
Jesus.
You have a spider on your foot, Mr. Kennedy.
Ridiculous.
Alright, Your Honor.
Your Honor, first and foremost, the warrant that Mr. Kennedy claimed to have had was not uploaded till 53 minutes prior, signed by a judge.
Your Honor.
That is malpractice.
Your Honor,
on his
respect.
part.
Firstly, I put in the evidence.
You did not have an executed warrant, which would have needed to be placed in to begin with.
I'm going to go and have
Okay,
The
how can I
warrant
put
was
this?
let me explain something here. The warrant was signed by the co-judge of the city before, and it was put in the discovery phase that it was issued and signed.
I just
Whether
never
or not
put the
it was
actual
issued
warrant.
to you.
Jury,
Has
you guys do
nothing
not
to
go out
do-
the same way.
It just shows
Jury
that
does
it was
not go
produced
out to the general public.
today at 5:24 p.m. It was uploaded to the court docket.
I need a
And I
second
did not
evidence.
get a copy
Cannot
of
go
this,
to the
nor
general
time to
public.
respond to this.
Couldn't the bailiff
They
be
spoke at
handling
this
that?
room.
Police department. as they
No,
had
it was
your
not.
body
It was
cam.
not issued to
Cannot go
anyone.
outside.
And did you ask
I
everyone in your
requested
police
it from
department?
Mr. Frank Moses, and he refused to send it to me, and that was yesterday, which I have on my body cam. That is a
Who the
horrible
fuck are you?
court case.
The footage from your body cam was already got. It was already got.
How was it obtained?
It was obtained because it's on the database.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is. Body cam
cams
database.
are not uploaded
when
to a
you're done
database
your
unless a
sir, when
warrant
you're
is
done your
requested.
patrol,
I mean,
you
it's a
put down
recess,
your
we
body
can't-
cam and it's given. Along with
Sir,
that, when you were arrested,
no,
your body
that
cam
is
was
not how
taken
it
from
works.
you.
I would
When
like
you
to
were
discuss
arrested,
it
when you were
privately,
booked,
but-
your body
No,
cam
it
was
was
taken
not.
from you.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
was.
we need,
You
like,
were
a
booked.
private jury meeting.
But we'll know.
Yeah.
They take away your items, including camera.
No, I was not even
User left your
stripped of
channel.
anything. I walked out and
We
not
can't
even
know
taken-
that it was taken away unless the officer states it was taken away.
Okay, that's not relevant.
Yeah.
The point is that when you're done with your patrol, your body cam is put away and it's put onto the database.
Okay, well, it says also in the report under the affidavit that I
What
placed
affidavit?
a body search revealed his duty pistol and 3 other
We will
pistols,
after
one SNS
everything.
pistol as well. At Mission Road Police Department, a breathalyzer performed with the reading of .01 when it said
And the what?
.0001.
A breathalyzer can't even say that. Oh my god.
You lied.
A breathalyzer
No,
can't even say that, Wood.
Well, that's what it said.
Let's be real
We'll
here.
do it. They'll give us a chamber.
We
hopefully.
are. Those are the
Along
facts.
with that, just to be clear, the reason why the warrant specifically wasn't
I mean,
put there
the evidence is
was because I was at work.
We'll just continue.
And I put beforehand that the warrant was put there and that I would be sending a
Well,
direct copy.
the jury and the DA has had plenty of time to get their stuff together.
Respectfully, I really didn't. But I did state in
Well, I didn't have time to get
out
Mr.
of
Braden on
character,
my witness list, so I should be allowed.
I put in RP that I sent the warrant.
Okay, well then I should be able to call Mr. Braden as my witness because I didn't have time because I had work.
Okay, but you need to put that in the
User
discovery
joined
phase.
your
You had a
channel.
week to put in the discovery phase that you would at least be calling him. I put in the discovery phase that I would have a warrant. You didn't.
I have to take a shit, Your Honor.
No, I'm not
That's
hitting back.
it. Respectfully, Your Honor,
I know DAs don't like
he never once stated that he'd be calling him up. Respectfully, Your Honor, the entire time, he never once stated that he'd be using
I have to
footage
take
from
a
the
shit.
casino.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He put in the evidence and stated that it was from his body cam. We have to assume that it's his body cam unless he states otherwise, and he didn't.
I have to live in this shit.
Since he never stated that it was otherwise, we have to assume it's his body
Mr.
cam.
Moses, why are you in here?
Chief Wood just walked out.
As you
Where-
can,
I am
he's,
aware
he's
of
on
that.
bail.
Channel.
Yeah, okay. Thought he was remanded, but okay.
The point being that we have to assume that it's his body cam unless stated otherwise, and he never stated otherwise. I at least stated that there was a warrant, and I put in RP that this was the warrant.
For your enjoyment.
You better not stink out that toilet, Mr. Wood.
Give me a second. I'm buttering that bagel.
Your Honor, I respectfully request my witness, Braden Bravo 343, that was in connection in this investigation, as well as the weapon and arms policy.
No.
No, you didn't even do your job right.
I
So
did.
how are you going to
User
tell me no
left your channel.
and you get everything?
I put
you're taking
exactly
it to?
that I
You
would
are
be
asking
using a
for
warrant, and I
frosting, you're
stated
asking
in
for birthday
RP that there was
candles,
a warrant.
and I'm not even getting a damn thing. This is not a fair trial.
Is it just me or?
Well, sir, if you want to claim a mistrial, we can certainly do this another time.
Oh no.
Yep. Same here.
Okay.
Instead of you arguing the facts of the case,
Help any of you
you're
guys
just
get
arguing
back
simple
with
things
you
because you
and
know the facts of the case are false.
I believe that Bravo 343 is a credible witness.
Then you
and
should have
has
put
a-
him on your witness list.
And you should have uploaded the warrant.
Cigarette down.
User
I
left your
stated that there
channel.
would be a
User left
warrant.
your
If you
channel.
had stated that there would be a
Okay,
witness,
well,
it
you
would be
should
the
have
same
uploaded
thing.
it, but you didn't.
I can't use my phone to put up a warrant.
That's
you can
not
use
my
your phone
problem.
to type in.
It's not
this
my
is
fault
a
that you
warrant.
don't have Adobe.
Happened.
I don't have a fucking Adobe on my iPhone.
Well, you
User
shouldn't have had an
joined your
iPhone. You
channel.
should have had a Samsung. Not my problem. Once again.
Alright.
There, you make a right to the next door.
Your Honor.
What I'm about to say is final.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like you guys.
You didn't
can't
upload the
leave,
warrant
Like,
I
as you
did
should
state
have.
there would be.
Hold up.
It's 1 a.m.
As
Yeah.
you should have. You were supposed to upload the warrant.
yeah,
It's because that is
that's what
evidence to the
happens in
case.
court. You-
Therefore,
I need a
guys-
cigarette.
only allowing and making this a fair trial, since you did not upload that evidence, I will allow Bravo 343 as a witness to come up to the stand.
Nicotine gum spray.
Okay, well then we still need to discuss the other case of which him claiming that it was footage from the fucking from the. Let's just be clear. Earlier in his testimony, he stated that it was his body cam, and now he's stating that it's from the casino. He never once stated that it was from the casino, and if he doesn't state it, we have to assume that it's from his body cam.
Officer Wood, that is true.
Well, it was my body cam that shows him not in a casino. So there.
But that's not true because you never once turned around. How would your body
if you
cam
look
show
at-
him if you never turned
That's
around?
not my problem. That's not my problem. It's on my body cam.
It's not. It's not. Sorry.
It's on my body cam.
Your
It's
Honor,
not my
you can
fault.
you can watch the video. He never once turns around. His body cam never once faces that direction.
How do you
You also don't need a warrant for casino stuff as long as they give it to you. You only need a warrant.
And you never stated that it was, and since you didn't state it, we have to assume that's your body cam. You know
Who's to
that.
say I don't have a wide-angle body cam? They make those now.
They don't make them
S10
from
Plus.
behind.
It doesn't matter.
It's not behind, sir.
how do I nap?
It's directly to the side.
Your Honor, if you watch the video, you will see that his body cam is never facing the
Why
direction
don't you look at
of
my
that
evidence
individual.
before?
All one over slash email menu.
Sloppy.
Damn.
Never once faces
Look
the
at
direction of
evidence
him.
4. I am sideways, and you can see the door clearly.
God damn it.
A wide-angle body cam would have shown that. And who's to say I don't have GoPros
Where's the
too?
judge at? This 10-minute recess is going on.
Who's to
How
say
long
what?
in 10 minutes.
Still
I don't
in
have
the
GoPros.
freaking-
And for all we know, he
That's
could have
not how
been,
court works.
and he could have already walked it. You could have been
So,
looking out
snap,
around the
snap,
casino.
User left
We
your
shouldn't be
channel.
arguing. Oh my god.
Mr.
God.
Lucifer, can you go get the,
You're just mad because your suit's gray and not black like everybody else's.
My name's David.
Okay, I do see him walking around, and
can you
it
go get
does
the, people?
look
User
like he
joined your
goes
channel.
towards the entrance.
Unfortunately, I'm not allowed back left.
But
We're not
when
allowed to
they're
ask questions.
you're saying that this is
Court footage or not court?
This is my body cam, as well as I requested the auxiliary bar cameras. And requested that.
We
You
cannot.
can request it.
You
I don't
cannot.
need a
You
warrant.
can't say that it's the footage from the casino unless you state that it is. Otherwise, we have to assume that it's your body cam.
I just said it.
Yeah, in the court, you can't just bring that
No,
on me.
no, we don't need it.
It's not my fault. You
let
just
us-
brought
we-
this
we look
warrant
into
on
the
me.
I
closing
didn't. I
arguments,
stated
we'll
the
figure out what's
entire
going on.
time that I had a warrant. You knew a week
You know what,
ago.
Mr. Kennedy?
That my friend
You know what
from
you're good
across
at?
the pond, the land.
Pushing papers.
Do you want to state? Do you want to see where when I said there is a warrant and you can see that it was put a
No,
week
Mr.
ago?
Kennedy, I don't need to present you all of my evidence that I.
Yes, you do. That's the point of the discovery phase.
No, you didn't request
Yes.
it. Did you ask what evidence I plan to proceed with?
Oh my god. Does he? This obviously shows he doesn't know what the fucking discovery phase is.
Discovery phase, do you have to post it?
Well, it was part of the body cam footage, so it's also in the
No,
report.
it never once stated that it. Yeah, we have exactly. It was body cam footage.
You have
not
my
casino
body cam footage, Mr. Kennedy.
Exactly, body cam,
Okay.
not casino footage.
Okay, well there we go. Evidence 4 will be presented as body cam footage.
Okay, then we need to strike down that there was no casino footage.
Okay, fine.
Holy fuck.
Dickhead.
Yeah, this recess is over. Continue with the court case.
Kennedy, are you okay, Wood?
What?
Yeah.
Check your email.
Your Honor, I would like to continue the witness interrogation of 3011.
You may continue.
Can we get everybody back?
Oh, sorry.
Why do you think it is, sir?
Oh.
Where we at?
My name's David.
Alright, you need to stay calm, dude. Breathe. Bruise.
Do you want my inhaler, Mr. Kennedy? I have one.
Stop.
No, sir. I want
stop
this court case to be
instigating
legit, and you're not making it legit, and it's pissing me off. Fucking amount of time that I put to make this court case legit, and you're going through loopholes. It's pissing me off. That's the truth.
Well, Your Honor, that's all.
Continue your case.
Shut up and
Continue your
continue
case.
the case.
Mr. 3011, at what point in time did you proceed with a BAC test?
That has already been answered.
You haven't been searched.
I've been searched.
I'm asking you, sir.
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
I've already answered it, dude. I'm done playing games with the suspect, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but he's just being run.
You're here to
constantly
answer
lying.
questions,
And I have
not
already
make
answered that
comments.
question. I have already answered that 4 other times.
Okay, Mr. Frank Moses.
Gotta fucking keep put all these people in contempt.
In your report, it says that did you report in your
User
report
joined
my
your
BAC?
channel.
Yes, I did, and that's what was reported to me. That's why it says .01 in my report.
Thank you.
But it was reported as something else, correct?
Well, considering 0.01 is the lowest that a BAC meter can read, I have to assume it's true if that's what they're telling me. I don't
Okay.
believe that it would be anything else.
All right, I have no further questions. I'd like to call my next witness.
No, I have the right to cross-examine.
You all no.
Yes. Your Honor.
Well, I would like to talk to the jurors then, because that's my right.
Not until after I examine the witness.
Your Honor, Mr. Kennedy just spent 15 minutes repeating
After
himself
you
7
cross-examined
times.
him.
It was after you cross-examined him. Mr. Kennedy, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Can he go back to his desk? I don't really feel safe with him standing right behind me.
Oh, wow. Wow. If I would
right.
have your ass, I would have done it
Were
already.
you the one who gave him the blood? Were you the one who gave him the
Your
test?
Honor.
No,
You
no.
are
Just
to answer
continue.
the questions.
Were you the one who gave
User
him
left your
the blood
channel.
alcohol test?
No, I was not the one that gave him the test. The FBI was.
We've
also
already-
called to the scene,
objection,
and
he
the
already asked this
FBI
question.
Was the ones that performed it.
Okay. So how did you get the test results then?
It was conveyed to me after the fact. After
User
they
left your
decided They
channel.
wanted to
User
release it.
joined your channel. User
Can you
joined your
repeat that?
channel.
I'm sorry. I
His
couldn't
results
hear.
were released to me by the FBI. They told me what it was after they released him from the PD. They just released him on his own reconnaissance.
Okay. That is all.
Your Honor,
You
I would
step
like
down
to
from the
call
stand.
my next witness, Bravo 343.
Will the witness please rise and be sworn in by the bailiff?
You're in my seat.
No, I don't see a name on it.
Move.
Alright, sir, can you repeat after me?
User left your channel.
I do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare
I do solemnly and sincerely, truly declare
and affirm the evidence I shall give
and affirm the testimony I shall give
be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Alright, you may proceed.
User left your
Mr.
channel.
Braden, good evening today.
Good evening.
Can you please state your first and last name as well as call sign for the record?
Braden Smith. I'm the former chief of police,
User
Los
joined your
Santos
channel.
Police Department, Bravo 343. I'm currently occupied with the Drug Enforcement Agency.
Bravo 343. Can you explain what the Los Santos County Police Department weapon and arms policy is?
Well, we have a very flat and straight out policy for officers based on rank and hierarchy within the department. But as the chief of police, you're able to, have whatever weapon you like.
Do all policies
User joined your
match other
channel.
departments?
No, they don't.
At any point in time, did Blaine County Sheriff's Office reach out to the Los Santos County Police Department about an investigation?
No, sir, they did not. And it is common that if you arrest an officer,
Objection, Your Honor. The witness is rambling. He's telling a narrative. He's just supposed to answer the question.
I am answering the question.
The
to
question
the best of my abilities. I'm answering the question.
The question was whether or not the Blaine County Sheriff's Office contacted LSPD. It wasn't what the policy is and what they're supposed to do.
We're explaining to the jurors because they might not
Then
know.
you should ask the question, what should they do?
Says the lawyer that rambles on for an hour.
Your Honor,
Gentlemen.
I keep my objection for narrative.
Bravo, can you please
I'll allow
explain the policy in which another department should reach out to a department in regards to an investigation?
Well, if someone of your caliber, the chief of police, is arrested, it is common that the department that made the arrest would contact the department to ensure if there's any investigations going on or whatnot. What's the official duty that you're conducting at that place? Being that it is our jurisdiction, the city, we don't have to inform anyone of investigations that are being done in our jurisdiction. Now, if we had an investigation in Blaine County or Paleto, then we would contact those agencies and let them know that we are going to be conducting an investigation in their jurisdiction.
Thank you, Bravo. At any point in time, were you notified that the chief of police was getting arrested?
No.
User
Again,
joined your
I was
channel.
not notified that the chief of police had been arrested.
Did Blaine County Sheriff's Office serve you any warrants?
I have been served no warrant from the Blaine County Sheriff's Office.
Were you ever served a warrant for possession of a body cam by the Blaine County Sheriff's Office?
I have not received any warrants or subpoenas for any body cam footage
User
or
joined your channel.
personal items of the officer arrested.
Does the Blaine County Sheriff's Office have to work in conjunction with the Los Santos County Police Department?
User left your channel.
I'm sorry. Could you maybe like better?
The Blaine County Sheriff's Department, if an arresting officer is on scene and the Blaine County Sheriff's Office is to be arresting an officer of the Los Santos County Police Department,
User left
would
your
they
channel.
oversee or would they be the arresting department?
If the Blaine County Sheriff's Office arrests a Los Santos police officer, a supervisor of the officer would be called to the scene, and the department would be notified on what the officer would be charged with, and so on and so forth.
And under jurisdiction reasons, if an officer is arrested in Los Santos County Police Department, would Los Santos County Police Department be the adjourning department taking over this?
Not necessarily. If a Los Santos Police Department officer is arrested in Los Santos, then that agency would be over the investigation. But our department would conduct a separate internal affairs investigation.
Thank you.
Biscuit.
That is all the further I have for you, Mr. Bravo.
Okay.
No,
Unless Mr. Kennedy has any.
Yeah, I would like to cross-examine.
Okay.
You may proceed.
Later, sexy.
Alright. May I cross-examine?
You may proceed.
Biscuit. 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 Biscuit.
Is there a specific policy which states BCSO is required to inform LSPD that they're arresting one of their officers?
Yes, there is a policy that you are to call the supervisor.
Okay, can you state the specific policy?
What do you mean state the specific policy? You want me to read it like off the back of my neck
Can
or
you
back
tell me
of my
what the
hand?
name? Can you tell me what the name of the policy is?
No, I cannot give you the name of the policy, but it is policy, and it is common in nature that you notify the department that you are arresting one of their officers.
All right. Okay. To be clear, it's common.
It's a policy. Yes, sir. That's what I said.
Your Honor, the specific policy would fall
User
under
disconnected
the
from your
police
channel.
conduct.
Your Honor, I would like to strike down the testimony of which he states, talking about the policy that it's required for BCSO to contact LSPD based upon the fact that
User
it assumes
left your
facts
channel. User joined your
not in the
channel.
evidence. There were no policies ever presented in evidence, therefore it cannot be presented in the testimony because it assumes facts.
No, sir. There is a policy.
Sir, I wasn't objecting to you. I was objecting to the
as well. Well, I'm clearing it up with the judge. Your Honor, there is a policy as well as collaboration with
disconnected
the
from your
Los
channel.
Santos Police Chief, San Andreas, Blaine County Sheriffs.
Respectfully,
and
that's not
the
my.
California
Respectfully,
Highway.
that's
Well,
not.
Sir, I didn't. I'm
Okay,
talking to
but
the judge.
I
I'm
made
not
the.
talking
Listen,
to you.
I'm not objecting that it doesn't exist. I'm
Okay.
objecting that the policy was not stated in evidence, therefore cannot be stated now.
User joined your channel.
My objection is exactly as stated. Assumes facts, not in evidence. There was no policy, even if it exists, of which was presented in evidence, therefore I strike this testimony down based upon the fact that it was not stated in evidence, therefore it assumes fact.
I'm
It's
going
part-
to deny your objection.
Okay.
You may continue cross-examining.
User left your channel.
Just give me a second, Your Honor. All right. Let me just review my notes. All right.
Mr. Woody, can you please stand still?
To be clear, you were not given any heads up from BCSO that they were going to be arresting an LSPD.
User joined your channel.
Yeah, just.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
BCSO didn't give a heads up to LSPD that they were arresting the chief of police.
I mean, you just have to use very much common sense. If you're going to arrest the chief of police...
Just answer the question, please.
Yeah,
well, I'm trying to, sir.
Just say yes or no. That's all I'm asking for.
It's going on for way too long.
No, they did not give us the common courtesy.
Okay.
I'm watching on the stream.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
And is it required of them, or is it just common courtesy?
It's required.
Per what?
I believe we just spoke about the policy that we talked about. If an officer is arrested, then the supervisor of that officer is to be notified.
Okay. Were you on
User
scene?
left your channel.
At the arresting?
Repeat the question, please.
Were you on scene when he was arrested?
No, I was not on scene.
Did you witness him being arrested?
No, I did not witness him being arrested.
Did you witness the scene at all?
I reviewed the body cam footage. I did not witness the scene.
So then you're not a witness, correct?
I'm the former chief of police of Los Santos County Police Department.
Testifying on what the video and what Justin Woody said, correct?
Sir, Dustin Woody.
Is that correct?
Let me explain you, because you're trying to say I'm not a part, or I have not witnessed.
Go ahead and explain.
Dustin Woody, the individual arrested, was a part of an investigation which I was a part of as well. So I am testifying on his behalf.
In regards to the investigation. What's the investigation called?
Sir, I will not answer that question. I plead the fifth.
You can't plead the fifth. You're not under trial.
You're not
being
plead
prosecuted.
The fifth. I'm an American citizen, and I have the right to plead the fifth.
Respectfully, sir, the Fifth Amendment only gives you the right to not testify against yourself for any crimes. I'm not stating that you committed any crimes.
No, sir.
Sir, if you would like to review the Fifth Amendment, I can give you the Constitution.
I don't need you to review the Fifth Amendment with me. I won't answer that question, sir.
Your Honor, I would like to impeach the witness based upon the fact that he is refusing to answer a question and trying to use the Fifth Amendment despite not having the right to do so.
You can't impeach me for not answering a question I have the right to not answer, sir.
That's not true. You're a witness. You have to answer any question given to you unless it's
can give up
objective.
information on an active investigation.
Okay, then we can remove the public and do it privately. But
sir, I'm
respectfully,
not under any subpoena. Sir, I am not under any subpoena, and you're asking about an investigation that is currently. I cannot disclose any information about that investigation.
well, then I have to assume that the investigation doesn't exist because you're not even asking me what it's called.
You can assume whatever you want, sir, but I'm telling you the investigation does exist, and I cannot give you any information about the investigation.
So is he saying that many officers are lying under oath about an investigation?
What I'm saying is that he does not have the right to the Fifth Amendment and that he's a witness, and if he's given a question, he has to answer it. Your Honor, again, I'd like to impeach the witness based upon the fact that he is not answering questions and not cooperating with me.
I am cooperating with you, sir. I just gave you my answer.
You did it.
All right, Your Honor, I would like to just dismiss Braden then.
If you're not going to answer the question, you may step down from the stand.
Jesus. Your Honor, may I continue my...
Your Honor, I'd like to approach the bench.
Oh my.
You may proceed.
Can you move?
Alexa, let me get past them.
Alright, Your Honor. When a witness is required to answer any and all questions, and if they don't do so, then it is considered that they are no longer a witness, and therefore everything that they said should be struck down and impeached. He does not have the right to the Fifth Amendment, and you can review the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment only gives you the right to not testify against yourself. He's not testifying against himself, he's testifying against Wood. Along with that, he's not a witness to the case. He never witnessed anything, therefore should not be a witness at all. Along with that, the reason why I asked that he not be there is he's stating what the other officer saw, and he can't do that. That's hearsay.
It isn't hearsay. He wrote it in the report.
Okay, then state
It's also
exactly what he
proven in the
wrote.
body cam
Then
that he was
state
not
exactly
there.
what he
User
wrote,
joined
please.
your channel.
What?
Not what he's thinking, or
User
not what
joined
he
your
did.
channel.
Okay, do you want me to read the report?
You already did. You're just stating things that he was thinking. You can't say what he was thinking. You don't know what he was thinking.
Objection is approved. You must stick to the facts of the report.
Mr. Moses said, I observed Chief Woody consuming several alcoholic beverages of liquor shot variety. After seeing this, I observed his sidearm.
User
If
left
you look at the
joined your
videos,
channel.
let your eyes tell the story. Woo! In the videos,
User left your
Mr.
channel.
Frank Moses was not in any view of myself. Mr. Frank Moses only proceeded to talk to me at the point 2 in evidence 2. In evidence 4, I am not near the bar nor consuming alcohol. I am walking away. And there was no alcoholic beverages in my hand, nor is Mr. Frank Moses seen. In evidence 2, you can hear Frank Moses say on the radio that he is arriving on scene. At evidence 2, I am not near the bar, and he is not in the building.
User joined your channel.
I have nothing further.
Play some slots.
Lots out here in a minute, you know.
One additional.
Is that your case?
One call.
Hold on. Is that your case, Wood?
I'm waiting for your clothing statement so then I can...
Your Honor, I'd like to approach the bench again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one additional to the 911 call to casino, please.
Due to allowing him to call a witness that we never approved of before, I'd like to call a witness that was actually a witness.
We also have one FBI agent at
I
the
approve of that
bar.
witness because you failed to submit that.
But he never stated he would be calling him at all. I did state that there was a warrant.
You did state it, but you never submitted it.
User joined your channel.
Therefore, fair is fair. I'm allowing him to call a witness that he did not state, and I allowed you to proceed with
But he
your
wasn't
warrant.
even a witness. You allowed someone who wasn't even a witness to testify about something that he never saw.
This is my court,
This is
Mr.
already in
Kennedy.
this trial. I'm simply asking that we can call a witness that was already here, so that we can get the
User
true
in your
facts of
channel
the
timed
case,
out.
and so that the jury can hear the true facts of the case. I want to call the EMT who arrived on scene.
I will not allow it.
The EMT never came on scene to the casino. They showed up to the...
Gentlemen,
User joined your channel.
Okay,
we are
that's
going
fine.
to move to
Whatever.
closing statements. Both the prosecution and the defense have now rested their cases. The attorneys will now present their final arguments. Please remember what the attorneys say is not evidence. However, do listen closely. They are intended to aid you in understanding the case. Prosecution, you may begin.
The very fundamentals, the very court procedures have been violated within this case. Things have been allowed that should not have been allowed. And ultimately, this would be ruled as a mistrial. But I'm not going to go that route, because I believe that the jury can make the right decision. I believe that despite hearing the lies from the
User joined your channel.
defense, you guys will see the truth, see the true light, and you will rule that he was in the wrong, that he was drinking alcohol while possessing a weapon. That is simply the fact of this case. He claims that he was in an investigation. He even called up a witness that he
User
never
left your
informed me
channel.
beforehand that he'd be calling up. I never had any chance to prepare for this witness. I apologize for repeating myself, but I felt that I didn't really know what else to do. I was being faced with a trial that I could not prepare for because it was not properly done in discovery. I warned him that there was a warrant and that he needed to prepare for one. I was never warned that there would be an extra witness. The fact is, if he was undercover, he wouldn't be using a police uniform. If he was undercover, then he wouldn't be If he was undercover, he wouldn't be acting the way he did. He tried his hardest, as he states, to stay within character, to be undercover, to not get his cover blown. But if he was trying to do that, why would he go there in a police uniform?
Not have it on? Why does it
Why would he
unbind
talk
every
to
time?
other officers
User
as if he
left
was
your
an officer
channel.
himself? If you're going somewhere to investigate something undercover, then do it undercover. He claims that he did all these things to remain in character, yet he was a cop. He showed up
User
as a
in your
cop.
channel timed out.
The point is,
User entered your channel.
he had a gun on him. He was drinking alcohol, and that violates the law. That is all.
Defense, you may proceed with your closing statement.
Mistrial, something we've heard many times by Mr. Kennedy. But today, you've been presented a very weird case, a case that'll go down in history, a case that no one could be ever prepared for. But I've presented to you the facts. The fact that an officer was not in observation of me, an officer that was not on scene, an officer that lied, an officer that was not speaking the truth. However, his probable cause was nothing. He presumed. He didn't know what was going on. Mr. 3 Sierra 11, Frank Moses, said with his own words, "I observed him knock the shots back." He presented in his police report, which is a sworn testament, that he would provide the facts. He was sworn in, but with the video and the pictures of the still cams in the report, he was never in observation of what I was doing. He never knew what I was doing. He obstructed an investigation and interfered an investigation and disrupted it with the arrest of me inside that casino. A blood alcohol content of the minorest ability could have been anything. 3 Sierra 11 was wrong. And that the defense has gotten angry. They have gotten upset at the fact that I have presented nothing but pure evidence of something that was just blatantly wrong. I only expect that the great citizens of Los Santos will fairly and accurately make a decision of justice, and that I am allowed to walk away from this horrible case of misjustice, and that officers of the law are held accountable, and that if I am wrong, that I am held accountable, that if I was drunk and disorderly according to these
User joined your
individuals, that I get arrested. But today, the videos show, the body cams show, having a good time, investigating, playing as if, you know, I'm investigating and having a good time is not wrong. Everybody should have fun. No officer should have a broomstick up his arse. And we should have a good time and investigate and sing and rejoice
joined your
of the
channel.
duties of an officer. But today I was made to be the devil. I was made to be a drunk, disorderly chief of police, and I am not that. I am here to serve the greater citizens of Los Santos and ensure that justice is served. And today, if justice is not served properly and I am not freed from these chains and ropes, that someone duly serve justice properly, and that the officer that wrote his affidavit and wrote this report is served justice in his thoughts and lies in what he wrote, and is impeached and is arrested. I have nothing further. Great citizens of Los Santos, I hope you do justice well. I have nothing further.
Members of the jury, you have heard all the testimony concerning this case. It is now up to you to determine the facts. You and you alone are the judges of the fact. Once you decide what facts the evidence proves, you must then apply the law as I give it to you to the facts as you find them. You may deliberate and discuss your findings in my chambers.
User joined your channel.
Let's go.
Let's go, man.
The court will
okay,
take a
man.
10-minute recess while the jury deliberates. and
It's
does their
okay, man.
findings.
It's okay, Wood. You
These
got this,
corrupt
brother.
ass cops,
Got it.
man.
I've
they
got
gonna
it.
get what's
You
coming.
got
be
this,
all
brother.
right.
It's okay, man. Just take a deep breath. All right. He ain't got shit, man.
It's still fucked
Hey,
up.
Kennedy, let's go out to my truck real quick.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you guys.
Oh,
We
so
got your
how
back,
is it
brother.
going?
We got your back, no matter what.
Wood's going to jail.
What? I tell you what, that corrupt.
Hopefully.
User left your channel.
Can we say a prayer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You have
It got
to
impounded.
find.
The
By
mechanics
who?
impounded. They impounded most of the sports cars.
I'm assuming.
User joined your channel.
I rode here with the FBI.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not over yet, though.
Hello.
It's just we're just on a recess. We'll have to go back.
The
in
video
there,
wasn't
though.
him. He wasn't the BCSO
We're at
officer. It was
the-
the CHP officer.
Huh?
Okay.
No.
It's Oasis.
Yeah, and I stated that.
Alright, where's the fucking mechanic? Because why is my SUV on a fucking tow truck smashed up?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
Your
But,
car's in the
Patel-
parking garage.
Patello, the car you borrowed is in the garage.
God damn.
Don't worry, Kennedy. I think we'll get a guilty.
Kennedy, you did an amazing job.
No, it's ridiculous. The fact.
Just you and Johnny?
User joined your channel.
And Apple? What's that? Hey, come meet us back at the garage across from the courthouse. Somebody got my car. Oh wait, this ain't my car.
It's about to launch. Why is it not? It just showed me a black screen. This is weird.
Man, I hear y'all
Yeah.
over there, Turner. You just want some fucking.
I have?
I see your ass.
I see my guy.
You did an amazing
still
job.
here. Do you see me at all?
You did.
No?
Killing me.
Oh yeah.
Your ass just wants some fucking bell, Turner.
Shut up, okay? Hey, you want something? We wouldn't be saying this if
I
it
don't want
wasn't
that
true.
now.
User joined your channel.
Yeah, we would.
Do you see
Why you think I never got there?
Can you open the door?
7, 8.
Alright.
2.
That was ridiculous.
Alright.
Hey,
Oh, I think my game just crashed because I just see the guy in front of me with his hand up and it's not moving. Yeah.
If I'm allowed to ask,
I might have to
with
relaunch
all
it
due
right
respect,
after this.
What is your decision? What do you think?
Hey, King.
Who do you think's in the wrong?
I can answer that question.
Close
Okay,
this.
that's fine.
How
I'm
are
the
you
judge. I'm
today?
impartial and trustworthy to the court case.
Okay.
Turner and.
Alright, so I'm gonna ask you to leave the court.
Do you mean to be smoking a cigarette, by the way?
Hey, you all.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, like,
Pretty sure she smoked too.
She needs some yellow love too.
Oh,
No,
she
I
needs
did
some
not.
yellow love? You know, she probably needs love from two
I
people.
need
Yeah.
love
I
for
do not
this
care.
one, and I need
There's
everyone
like
to
other
stop
there's
arguing. I'm
three
fighting.
there's like smoke
Goddamn
four.
asshole.
There's only smoke
But
four.
let me go now. Let me go.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't be flipping
User
off
left your
officers.
channel.
Oh, Lisa.
You have to type it in. It doesn't
Microphone
show up.
muted.
Fucker instigated
Microphone
it.
activated.
He came
What?
over my spot. He pushed me around.
What about after this case is over?
Are you talking to me?
We will see what happens.
No,
I'm just looking at
radio.
Alright.
You
Another
know,
break?
Loses, there are gonna be a lot of things for me to do
Got
at the
another
hospital,
break
I'm
going
Oh,
guessing.
yeah.
Yeah, while the jury deliberates, I should get back in there.
Yeah, I might
wow.
take 7
Get this fucking cigarette out of my hand.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's a
gonna
Well, it's
Police,
out now.
arrest him.
Poor
stop
Lou.
fighting
Poor
over there.
fucking Lou.
I think his cigarette was stuck.
I gotta go explain that.
Yach, I want to hug me.
Yeah, it's slash E
You
space
have
C.
your
What do you mean
hands
slash
up?
RE? What?
So do you,
Well,
Patello?
then your hands are stuck up. You have to hit X multiple times. Your hands are up, sir.
Yeah, and you have your hands
Hold on.
up, officer.
No, you're
waiting
fine.
for that.
The officer
warming
has
up
his
to it.
hands up.
Yeah.
One more time.
One more time.
Spam it a lot. I'll let you know. There you go.
There you go.
User in your channel.
Thank
Boy, get a boy. Get a boy.
Have a cigarette. Is that fine?
Don't forget to shove your
That
ass.
is allowed.
Thank you.
There was no evidence presented. It was all just. It was very.
Alright.
Excuse me. Thank you.
You got this. There's nothing to worry
Sir,
about.
please get back.
I hope.
Back
There
behind.
ain't nothing against you that's not with you.
You gotta go to the bathroom first. You've been sitting there for a while. And let's just go with the
Punch me in
vote.
goddamn face, I got kicked
Damn,
out.
it's snowing out now.
Oh.
We've been in there for so long.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
a change
He
season.
went in my spot, pushed me around, so I went over, I
Kennedy
flipped,
there.
gave him the bird, and fucking Moses socked me right in the mouth.
Hey, what month is it? Because that's how when we went to court.
I got
Okay,
still on the
so
ground.
carried out.
Okay, so wait. So wait, you flipped someone off.
No, Moses
Then-
was pushing me around in my spot.
Okay, and then you
He came
flipped him
up-
off, and then he punched you, and then you got kicked out.
Yeah.
Was he in
Still
here?
inside.
Well, why is he not kicked
I'm
out for
Bubba.
punching you?
Property
I don't
theft,
know.
sir.
That goddamn security guard in there's
Oh.
goddamn
Yo, them snowflakes are nasty.
bullshit.
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, why are they
I
green?
don't know what went on. I'm not in there. Okay, so I'll speak to I'll speak to a federal unit if I was you.
There ain't nothing to worry about.
No, I
Can
just
I help you?
Goddamn knocked my fucking glasses off.
Why are you swearing at me, sir?
I'm gonna get sit down. It's cold out here.
All the evidence.
It's not very nice.
What's happening? Why is he flipping you off?
I don't know.
What have
Maybe
you
he's-
done, Coda?
Maybe he's just frustrated. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
I guess that.
User joined your channel.
Wait a minute,
you good to
I'll
go?
be more
Why this
ecstatic
kid
if
is
Wood goes to
fucking
prison.
Hands up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he better go to prison.
People's a hands.
What did Jerry say? He wasn't guilty?
Hey, buddy, your hands
Still
are up.
deliberating.
Fucking knocked my hand off too.
I'm a little bit confused.
Oh, your hands are up,
Yeah,
DA.
I mean, for the fact
Both
that-
So
are
if
yours.
that was the
Also
case,
mine?
it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
How
The
now?
policy.
He didn't have enough to actually have alcohol in his
One more
contact,
time,
as well
man.
as
One more time.
I mean, the evidence that they've given us does not show us.
They were arguing and testifying about the policy.
Yes, based on actual
too
law
much
and
cop
reasonable
talk in my
doubt,
head.
I have enough
Okay.
reasonable doubt
showing,
to state that he would be innocent.
All right, I'll go ahead and tell the
I'm in the
I'll go
courthouse
ahead and
right
tell the judge that we're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Fucking so
Hey, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Come back.
10 minutes
Yeah.
There's also no witnesses.
Alright, so we're ready
There's no
for,
witnesses saying that he was drunk.
That's why I asked to confirm the badge number of the officer.
I didn't see the arrest
I'm going to announce it, and then you guys will follow behind me as I walk out and go into your stand. I will then ask what your finding is, and you will present it.
All right, we'll do.
Thank you.
Alright, Chief.
No, I'm 6'7", and I'm not 280 pounds.
Return to the court, please.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're
Can you
good.
be quiet?
Fuck that sheriff guy. Fucking asshole.
Let's fucking be
Hey,
here.
my soda.
Chief, you
Hands
got
up,
this.
DA.
It's your day.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Just all your hands are up.
Excuse me,
Thought that might
ma'am.
Dude, I'll smack the fucking.
Oh,
Probably so.
I'm sorry, I
Corrupt
love you.
judge.
I'm sorry, I love you.
They don't charge somebody for having mouthwash on their system.
They're not gonna charge anyone. He's innocent.
My right arm's
They're gonna claim he's innocent.
Excuse me, sir. Hey, Bravo 3.
Shut up. Anybody talking to you?
Shut your bitch ass up.
Trespass. I got a trespassing. Blah blah blah. But I need to buy an ID from.
All rise.
You get the next job.
Yeah.
Jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have. A second.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, have a good one.
And what is your verdict?
All right. We, the jury, find the defendant, Dustin Woody, Chief of Police, not guilty of all charges.
What?
That's bullshit.
Are you
User joined your channel.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You better hide your faces, son.
Quiet.
Wow.
Thank you, jury, for your service today.
Yeah, I
The
request an
court is
appeal to
adjourned.
the higher courts.
Oh my god.
You may submit that paperwork to me.
I told you.
Better watch your back,
it was
Chief.
your day.
You
Are you
son
ready?
of bitches.
Alright. I need everybody to back the hell back. We're about to walk out.
Oh my god. Alright, then walk out, you dumb bitch.
Look at the
Chief,
cars.
I told you it was your day.
Hey, Wood,
Please,
stay right here.
stand
Don't
up.
go nowhere.
Are you allowed to take pictures?
The chief paid the jurors for the not guilty.
Are you threatening me, sir?
Of course.
Yes.
Chief,
Are
I
you
knew
threatening
you
me?
were not guilty.
Court is
Come on.
adjourned.
You remember what happened last time,
Detain us,
bitch.
man.
Tyrone.
Okay, Tyrone.
I don't take kindly to death threats. And
Hey, we should go hit up all the bars until we can find the one that
Please
Kennedy's
detain this man
crying.
with the sideburns. He's
Y'all
threatening
stay
me
here
in
with
court.
Wood. I'm going to get my
No, I
unit.
didn't.
He didn't do shit.
I also heard.
Chief, I knew it was your day.
Hey, what's your name, buddy?
It's Kyle Mullins.
Oh,
sir.
What's yours,
you
friend?
good?
What?
Yeah,
My
I'm
name's
just a little
Bubba.
faint.
What about you?
Yeah,
Nice to
I
meet
mean,
you,
I
Bubba.
would be too, buddy. It's a good day for you.
What's your name?
User
That is
joined your
just
channel.
amazing.
I
Okay.
know it's true.
I'm happy.
Hey,
bet
boys.
you
I'm
where y'all
really
at?
happy. Justice was served.
See you on the street, baby.
See you later.
We're gonna have to kill these jurors. Yeah, he got found.
Someone stole my car.
Oh, I slipped. Oh shit, I slipped. I almost broke something.
Hey,
Hey,
What's up?
can I speak?
what's your name?
What does it matter?
I'm just curious.
I'm the commissioner of the Highway Patrol.
Okay.
Oh, no wonder why. It was rigged
Wait
from
a
get go.
second.
Hey, can I speak with you?
Can the
real quick?
commissioner even testify?
What's up?
Goddamn security
Nope.
guards rigged.
I didn't
Hold up.
testify. I was not part of
You're in the jury.
There's conflict of
Yes.
interest having any LEOs on that jury panel.
No, that's false.
How
It
is
is
that
not
not
false.
No, no, no,
We
no.
are. I'm not part of his department. I don't have any
We are
dealings with
part
him.
of different departments, sir, so we are allowed to be on that stand.
Oh, look at this.
Come on in.
Oh, okay.
Did you need something, ADA?
Yes,
Get
can I
it.
speak with you over there?
You may
Regarding
get
something.
Yep.
but I'll get justice for my brother.
Suck my
I will
balls.
get justice.
We're gonna have to slaughter all these bitches.
I don't like that guy.
Well, the man.
This is gonna be.
Everyone on
So
the
I'm carrying.
Sir, please.
Oh, one sec. I have to stop my
I
thing.
have some
It's
inside
gonna
information.